ladies own a narrative today. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and let her up. Angie.
Good morning. Oh, good
Hey,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, today we gonna let the ladies get theirs today.
Good
All right.
afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Mila. How you doing?
I'm all right. I told you I'll be here on time today.
Hey, listen. We're gonna do things like this today. This is for the ladies to represent and the men to respond. But this is for the ladies. I want the ladies up here to say what they gotta say. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna get all the time today. You feel me? Y'all gonna get
I
all the.
ain't got nothing but time for the next hour.
We,
I'm
we gonna
saying.
let you. I'll tell you. We gonna like all y'all get all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is for y'all. Um, I definitely sent some invites to majority of my lady supporters who rock with me, and said that Thursdays are kind of better for them than Tuesdays anyway. So let's go ahead and see if they join. But yeah, definitely y'all gonna have it today. So it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple question, but the topic is the topic, but I got follow-up questions that are not on the graphic. You know what I'm saying? So that's also
Okay.
going to complete this show. So I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, hey, do you expect men to pay on the first date?
I was
Angie,
just
I'm gonna
talking about this last night.
yeah. Angie, I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna get the Mila since you came up here. All right, Angie?
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
I agree. Um, Not I agree, but I do believe that men should pay on the first date. If you are asking me out, that means that there's hopes to pursue me. And I expect my man it doesn't have to be like the fanciest, craziest place, but if you invite me out on a date, you want to take me out. So it's just a effort thing. So I think that's like them putting, chivalry. I think chivalry is needed, and that's why I believe that men should pay on the first date. I am the prize.
Did you just say you are the prize?
I sure did. I came right from that rib. I am the prize.
And she said what
Okay.
she meant and meant what she said.
Amen.
Okay. Hey, Mila, what you think?
Hey, this just tickled your soul, didn't it? It's crazy.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready today. What you thinking, Mila?
Okay, so I feel like if a man asks me on a date,
Yeah.
first, yes, he should pay. But
Right.
if I'm pursuing him and I ask him on a date, I would expect him to expect me to pay. I'm not I'm not the kind of person to be like, oh, you gonna pay for everything. You gonna do this, you gonna do that because you ask. No, because 9 times out of 10, the man do ask. The man does ask, but sometimes the woman asks as well. So you got to be mindful of the things that you're putting out there. Like, no, that okay, I get it. He pursued you. He want to take you on a date. Every man that wants to take you on a date don't always have money to take you on a date, and I get that.
Right.
But sometimes offering can help as well.
Mm.
What if he say, I want to go 50-50? I want to go on a date, but it's going to be 50-50. What if it don't work out after that date?
I think that's
So,
fair.
so,
Um,
so, so, it sounds like what I'm hearing is whoever who asks pays, right?
Yes.
yeah, I agree with
So,
that.
and and Mila, you're okay with going Dutch, or you saying you're not okay? Sound like I thought you said you are okay with it.
I am okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so is going Dutch a on the first date? That is right. Is going Dutch on the first date a red flag? Could the man get a second date or no?
It depends.
It
It
depends
depends
on how the
because
date went.
yeah, are we gonna do this again? Are you just doing this to figure it out? Are you doing this because you got bored at home? Was this something that you decide to do because your friends dared you to do it. Like it depends on the situation.
Okay, so it's less about going Dutch. It's more about the experience of the date, how y'all guys hit it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be surprised that part don't even matter. It's just the fact that he said, let's split the bill. That pretty much is a deal breaker for a lot of women. I mean, you've seen that, right?
I've seen it multiple times. But I'm sorry, Angie. If you want to answer, you can just
No, you good. You good. Listen, you got the mic, girl. I'm gonna listen
I've
too.
seen it happen multiple times, but like me, on the other hand, like I'm the type of person, if you ain't got it, I got it. And if I ain't got it, you got it. And then if you ain't got it for both of us, we gonna have. It is what it is.
I agree, but that's only after I feel like it's worth
After the
it.
first date.
Yeah, like it depends on how the date goes. Like, are we really hitting it off? Do I want a second date? You feel me? Going Dutch is not an issue because, people most times, like, people establish that when they on the date. I do agree, like, whoever asks who out on the date should pay. But going Dutch is not an issue either. I've done it, or he'll pay and then I'll drop the tip on the date. Things like that. But oh Lord, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to agree with you, but go ahead, Mila. Or
It's okay.
Well, I mean, okay, so Angie, you mentioned, it doesn't have to be Roof Chris or Noble, right? Or Steak 48 or whatever, right? Capital Grill.
yeah.
But is there because listen, how many years ago was this? This was in the last 3 years. Remember that lady famously on this platform got mad at a guy because he took her to Cheesecake Factory. Is that a problem, Angie?
Actually, my first date with my ex, the one that we actually ended up breaking up, but my first date with that man was the Cheesecake Factory, and that was an amazing date to me, because I actually always wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory. I haven't been, and I really love cheesecake. So it honestly depends. Like, I feel like if a man listens to you, he knows what you like. I feel like that's what matters in terms of where we go out on a date. Like, were you listening? Are you paying attention? Oh, okay, you heard me say this, and then you made it happen. Okay, now I'm following you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Mila Cheesecake. Yeah, go ahead, Mila.
I'm simple. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you because I don't eat everything. I can't eat everything because I'm allergic to a lot of things. I can go to TGI Fridays and be perfectly fine. Only place I ask that you don't take me is freaking McDonald's. That's it.
No, for real. Don't take me there.
Don't take me to no McDonald's. I don't care if they ain't got no dollar menu. Don't take me to McDonald's on no first date.
Well,
Find something to do with your life.
Well, Wendy's got the 3 for 3s and the 4 for 4s.
And
now you playing. Now you playing.
I'm going to sit in the little sitting area. I'm going to order my food, sit down, and we're going to eat, conversate. Like, I'm simple. I don't need no steak. I don't need no loaded potatoes. I don't need none of that. But if that's your preference, and that's what...
With add bacon and cheese.
Hey, cut it out. Y'all hear my cousin in the background.
Yeah.
If that's your preference, that's where you want to take me, then I'll go. But it's not mandatory that you take me there. I'm not that girl. But if you want me to get dressed, put on a little heel, little dress. I don't wear makeup now. Don't ask me to put on no makeup because you might get cursed out. But if you want me to, get dressed up, I can do that if you want to take me somewhere fancy. Don't expect me to act fancy when you take me to these places because I'll normally go to these places.
You taking me out?
Right. Nah, for real though. So, okay. I mean, I can rock with that. I mean, it sounds reasonable.
I can go. I'm telling you, I can go anywhere but McDonald's. Don't take me to McDonald's on a date. I'm telling you, don't do that.
Well, I've had women tell me, that there's a difference between taking somebody to a fast food restaurant when you meet them as opposed to in a relationship. Because when you're in a relationship, you kind of just go for what you go for. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't always matter where y'all go because at that point y'all together. I mean, y'all might pull up to, to Wendy's or whatever, at some point. You know what I mean? But on a first date, no. I mean, I understand that.
No, well, so my first date was Olive Garden. I'm not gonna hold you.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Olive Garden, and before my husband became my husband, that's why our first date was. It was at Olive Garden. A little corner booth, little wine, a little pasta, all that. And he was just trying to be so like mature about it. I'm like, sir, you from the hood. I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit. Like bring it down a couple notches. Olive Garden is not your first date. Like, that man, he was dressed to the T, and I'm like, sir, you've been wearing basketball shorts and sweatpants the whole time I met you. Where did the suit come from? I seen your closet. Where was it at?
It was waiting in the back for you, my love.
Hey, she know what she does.
So I'm like, don't get me wrong. I don't care what man take me as long as it's not your house on the first date or McDonald's.
Heavy on my house.
If you think you finna take me to your house on the first date, baby, I will Uber my way back to my car.
No, and I will take the bus back too. I don't even care.
I will go home. Do you hear me? Don't think you slick. Cause being slick will get you beat up. My hands registered. I do this.
All right. I'm gonna let a man respond. Let me see what he got to say. Yo, Rambo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on? I just like to just explain some rules for people who are new to my panel. All right, no cursing, no foul language, respect each other, and I know it says ladies answer the prompt, but as a man, do you have any like rebuttals for the ladies? Because I mean, this is really a question for ladies and men to basically just respond to. You go ahead.
I don't have any rebuttals, but I do have an opinion. I do think that the men should be paying, but for me specifically, if I don't like you, I'm gonna ask to go Dutch. That's how you know I'm not feeling the date. If we're cool and we're vibing, I'll pay every time. But I also do have a heavy boundary of if we're getting to third and fourth dates and you haven't offered to pay once, you're not for me. I'm gonna move around.
Anybody got anything to say to that? I've heard that sentiment before. Anybody got anything to say to that?
No, Rambo, can you say the last part again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said for me, I have a hard boundary. If we're getting to third and fourth dates and you haven't at least offered to pay, I would never let you pay. But if you haven't offered by the third or fourth date, I'm just gonna move around. You're not for me.
Okay, well, yeah, that's what me and Angie was saying earlier. If we initiate the date, then we will pay. But if the man initiates, then he pay. But that's only on the first date. Like the second and third date, yes, I will offer because I see something different in you from anybody else that I've went on a date with, and I like you as a person. So yes, I'm gonna offer to pay. And if you say no, you don't have to do that, then that's fine. So, but if you want to go half, we could also go half.
Can I ask you a question from a woman's perspective? If you go on a first date and the man decides he doesn't like you, are you still requiring him to pay even though he doesn't like you?
That's if he initiated it, yes.
Yeah,
because that he asked to take me out. Right. You don't have to see me no more after that. You don't have to contact me. I don't have to contact you or see you. So, but thank you, and I appreciate you for this first date. But it is what it is. So that just means that.
I agree. I agree, and then also I want to say, I feel like if the date. Oh God, I suck at this. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Well, let me help you stay on task, Angie. He was talking about in the beginning. It's a sign that he may not necessarily be feeling a woman on this particular date by offering to go half. Let's take it piece by piece. What's your response to that as a woman?
I think that a man is a natural provider. When he likes something, he's going to want to provide and keep it soft. Keep her soft, not it. keep the woman soft or whoever they're pursuing. So if a man decides to go half with me on the first date, I'm gonna know. I'm always prepared when I'm out on a date for the worst case scenario, and that I may have to cover that date. That's number one. I always got to make sure I got money in my back pocket. Number two, I would know right off the bat from him wanting to go half that he's not really feeling me. Because if a man was really feeling me, he would not want to even see me go half with him, at least on the first date.
Okay. He also touched on Rambo also mentioned, hey, third or fourth date, if she's not offering to pay, it's a red flag. Is that what you said, Rambo? I just want to make sure I heard that part.
Yeah. I will move
Okay.
around.
Right. So Angie, what's your response to that? We dates in. When does the woman pay?
I feel like probably the third date. Like, okay, the first date we getting to know each other, you invited me out. Second time, most times the man would try to invite again, but most times, usually around the second or third date, that's when I would invite him out. Or like if he says, "Oh, let's go out," I would probably offer like, like this time it's on me. If I'm really like, if I'm feeling him, I feel like it could possibly go somewhere. I'd be like, yeah, don't worry about it. This time I got it. I will offer.
I want to know.
Okay.
Him cutting it, like, and him not wanting, like, I guess, like, you never know somebody else, but that's the boundary that you have for yourself. You know what you're looking for. And if you feel like by the third date, like, somebody, if they don't offer to pay is raps, then, that's you and your preference. I do feel like maybe like people need time sometimes to like see if it's really worth it or not. But also like when you're dating, it is a mutual thing. So I could kind of see what he's talking about.
And like you said, people need time to think. You don't think 3 or 4 dates in you should know if you see a future with this person?
No. Oh no. Because men, a lot of the time, sometimes they have this wall up. They're putting on a show of what they want you to see. You have to let the mask fall, or you have to really get to know the person. Like on the third, fourth date, I'm not gonna know if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I barely know you. Like
No,
I don't know how you act when you get upset. I don't know what makes you tick.
I'm not saying like a lifetime commitment. I'm just saying, after the third or fourth date, you're, interested enough to even offer to pay is what I'm saying.
Depends on the type. I think it all boils down to the type of conversations. Me personally, it depends on the type of conversations that we have and how we hit it off. But I feel like that's your preference. And if that's how you feel, I say stick to it.
So Angie, right? I don't know if Rambo necessarily means future for a husband. I think he just means like potential relationship. I mean, is that what you mean, Rambo? I don't want to speak for you, but is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think if a woman doesn't offer to pay, like, like if y'all going out on a couple of dates and she doesn't offer at least once, I do agree that like what she like, that's not the kind of, not to say she's not the kind of woman that will probably end up holding you down, but what that does is that offer kind of shows like, okay, like we could also foot the bill when it's necessary or something, or when we feel like it. I feel like if she's not willing to, I like cut your losses. She in it for something else. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, not all the time. That's not the truth with all women, but
Mila, what you think?
Well, I feel like 3 or 4 dates in. Okay, I'm not gonna say how I feel because I'm not single. When I
you better choose your words wisely.
I know my husband be looking in on these panels I be on. So I gotta be careful about the things I say.
Shout outs to him. Shout outs to him.
When me and my husband start going on dates, okay, in the beginning, We went on, I want to say about 7 to 10 dates, maybe 11, before we knew that we actually wanted to be together. So I can't be like, oh no, 3 or 4 is not enough, because we actually went over that whole threshold. So I can't say, oh, I know you. I knew exactly who he was by the 6th date, which made me go further. So I can't say open door. I can't say I need 3 or 4 dates, because sometimes it takes more than 3 or 4 dates for anybody, potentially, or whatever the case may be. It just takes more time than that.
That's what's up. So, all right. There's a reason why I know Rambo said what he said, because, this is what I've learned. When a woman is feeling you, she'll come out her wallet. She'll come out her wallet at some point. You know what I'm saying? Or at least offer to. Like, I've seen situations where on the first date a woman will offer at least to pay the tip. You know what I mean? That's 15 to 20%. You know, and then the guy be like, no, it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? But at least she offered. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that tell a story? That if she offers the tip, that can mean that she may be feeling you, or what you thinking, Rambo, as a man? And I'm gonna let the women answer that. Go ahead, Rambo.
Yeah, for me, that's just a telltale sign that we are both mutually interested. And like I said in the beginning, I would never let a woman pay. I just want to see if you're established enough to even offer. I want to know that you have your own money, and I also want to know that you're interested enough in me to come out your wallet if you had to.
Angie, you can go as a woman's perspective. What you think?
If a woman offers, I'm not gonna lie, she is interested. If she does not,
Yeah, on the first day, she offers at least to pay the tip. Yeah.
if she offers to pay the tip, that's perfectly fine. I think that's great. I think if she offers to pay the tip on the first date, that should tell you that she really enjoyed the date. That should tell you everything that you need to know, and there most likely will be a second date. But if she offers at some point, yeah, she is feeling you. If she does not offer, it might take her a while, but if she doesn't offer at all, and you guys have been on, more than like maybe 5 dates, let's say 5 is the cutoff, like 5 dates, like, then yeah, time to cut your losses, buddy.
I had a woman tell me that she went out with a guy. They had like 7 dates, and he ended it, right. And then I asked her, I was like, hey, did you pay for one of those dates? She said no. I said, out of 7? This is what she told me. Well, if you would have asked me out again, I would have paid for date number 8. I'm like, man, get out of here. You wasn't feeling that dude.
Yeah, no. I think when you get to 7, 8, 9, 10s, it's like, okay, are you interested like you say you are, or are you just here because I'm paying for everything?
Facts.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I agree. Cutoff is like 4, 5. If after that,
like
yeah.
I said, we went on more than 4 or 5 dates, and I told you by the 5th one, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into.
Yup.
Even I knew his whole little background, everything he was doing. So I can't, like, 4 or 5 days might be enough for some people, but once you get used to going on them dates and y'all enjoying each other, you don't count it no more.
Yeah, you don't.
It's just something that I got used to, and I liked it, and we just kept doing it. And then kids came into play.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Like, It just happens.
Yeah.
I would never let a woman take me out just because previous encounters that I've had with that situation. I would if a woman offered to take me out, I would just say no, or just be like, look, I'll cover it. Don't worry about it. But no, I had a woman invite me out to eat, and I should have known when we pulled up at Taco Bell that there was an issue. But I don't judge nobody.
Taco Bell.
Look, look.
Now, why she took you to Taco Bell? Oh,
I'm telling you.
Ah.
And wait, it gets deeper. I'm telling you,
Taco Bell.
it gets deeper. So we pull up to
Yo.
Taco Bell,
Chalupa.
and I'm not gonna judge nobody. So I'm like, okay, she cute, whatever. Maybe she's just going through, some financial struggles right now. It's good. It's good. So we get up to the speaker, and she turns to me. This is what killed me. She turns to me and says, "Look, I got $15, and what I get is $10.15. You can figure it out with the rest."
What?
Yeah, and I was
Nah.
like, "Whoa, just take me home."
Wait a
Baby, keep your
minute.
$15 for yourself.
Yeah, I was like,
Put
why
that
would
in your
you?
gas tank? 'Cause
Why
I'm
would
pretty
you
sure she
even
was
invite
supposed
me
to eat.
somewhere knowing
Right?
you ain't had no money? Like we could have just chilled. I was chilling.
Right, we could have had popcorn in the movie.
Hey, there may be a way to look at that. Let me look at it this way. So she only had $15 to her name. Is that what I'm hearing, Rambo?
Yeah.
And she was willing to spend 10 of that on you.
No, she said what I normally get is $10. You can get something with the rest.
You can get something with the rest. Okay. So $5 out of the 15 was dedicated to you.
Yeah.
What was you gonna get? Something to drink?
Exactly.
I mean, hold on. I'm not gonna lie. The fifth just gave me a different point of view.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
He did, but I just had to throw that joke out there a little bit. I'm sorry.
When I've had my last $30, and the man that I was seeing recently, like when we was dating, this was like a year ago. I had my last few, and he ain't really have it all together financially, but I went out and I only had $30 to my name. I went out and I went grocery shopping, and I went in the kitchen and I made something shake with that $30.
Was y'all already together though?
What time was it? I think so. Yeah, we was already in a relationship, but before then, like we knew, like.
What I'm talking about was a first date.
Oh, first date? No, that's she should have stayed home.
She was gonna give you something to drink with that $5. You ain't gonna have
But it was
I
her
was
last
baffled.
$5. You feel me? But then again, she shouldn't be on a date because I'm not giving no man my last $5.
Yeah.
But the fact that she wanted to give you her last $5 did mean something.
Yeah, it did. It
But
probably
like,
did mean something to her.
why
but that man
offer
was
if you
probably
know you're
hungry.
tapped out? Like, why would you offer to do that if you know you're tapped out right now? I don't get it.
Well, it could depend on how so I say like this, right? Like if she said, hey, I'm on a budget, I got 15, let me order something that we can share. Should that be treated differently? Because she's talking about sharing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, different. That's different.
Yeah,
that
but
would have
to
been
get
different.
something with the rest is a little mean.
Like, baby, push your $15 in your pocket and take me home. I can cook dinner at
Facts.
home.
Right, because if she would have said, hey, I got 15, because hey, fellas, you got a winner if she want to cook for you, right? $15, she could cook a meal for the both of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Depending on what it is. Yeah, she can make dirty rice or something like that. You know what I mean?
Not the dirty rice.
Dirty rice be a hit though.
Hey, shout out.
Listen, he might mess around and end up with some sweat rice.
Oh!
Oh hell no.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a whole nother. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. But
Hey,
but
you just threw step off. You gotta stop.
but fellas, I mean, cause I know what that is. But fellas, yeah, if she cooked for you safely, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Why you had to throw in safely?
Hey, I gotta say safely because you might bring up the spaghetti trick. You know what I mean? But
That's
yeah,
okay. So
safely.
look, I'm not gonna lie. My one of the people that I'm in a car and truck club with, Mayu, he's a vanner, and I was like, "You not gonna eat?" He was like, "Nah, I don't eat nobody's spaghetti." My mama always told me, "Don't eat no woman's spaghetti if you're not dating her." And I was like, "What?" And then I had to think about what my grandma used to always say, and I was like, "You right? Yeah, you right. I get it. Yeah."
But then that's just plain trifling, though. Like, why the fuck?
Nah, that's a fact. That's a
Especially if
fact.
you're feeding a group of people,
It
like
don't matter if you feeding one person or a group.
no, but
Nah, for real.
Well,
I'm
if you watch her cook it,
your morals, like
if you watch her cook it from scratch,
for
whatever
sure.
whatever it is she cooking. I mean, but the gesture is good. But I mean, look, I understand. But you know, Mila, Rambo said, I just want to make sure I nailed this point. You know, Rambo said, you know, if I'm not feeling, I don't know if that's an absolute for Rambo, but Rambo was like, yo, if I'm not feeling a woman, I'm going to offer to go Dutch. Now, earlier I asked both of you ladies that if a man goes Dutch, is that a red flag? According to what Rambo was saying, for him, just for him, that if that's basically his sign of going Dutch, that he not really feeling a woman, then is that something you could think when another man does that to y'all? Like, do you think if a man offers Dutch that now you're thinking, oh, he's offering Dutch because he don't like me?
No, it can be multiple reasons. So it can be that he not feeling it, or it can be like he really don't have it, but he wanted to spend some time with you to get to know you. It can be multiple things.
see nowadays they just got all of it just messed up.
So
That's
but they don't do it. They don't do it as like a respect thing no more. It's oh, we gonna do this because
people are.
I don't like you, or we not doing this because I feel like we should be together. No, they not doing it for those reasons. So you gotta be mindful. Like I get where Rambo is coming from. I understand it, and I also have brothers, because I don't encourage my brothers to pay on the. Listen, I'm a girl's girl sometimes, but when it comes to my brothers, baby, no, find somebody else to do it.
You the older sister?
I'm the second oldest. My oldest brother is almost 40.
Cause you give older sisters move like that. Me, my brothers, you better spend that money. I be telling them, nah, leave them.
No, it depends, because it depends on the female.
You're right.
Because I get a feel for the person that my brother is potentially dating or talking to.
You got a
So,
point. You got a point.
I feel like if she gonna be wasting your time, and I tell you, oh nah, bro, she gonna be wasting your time. And I also do it with my best friend. I do it with all my friends as well. If I feel like somebody is wasting somebody's time, don't do it.
Being the oldest sibling is crazy.
Y'all need to go meet in the middle. That's what y'all need to do. Meet in the middle. And if you feel like meeting in the middle is not what you want to do, then go ahead and pay for it. And then you're gonna see every time you go out, she's gonna be asking you to pay for everything. And then you're gonna be seeing exactly what I'm talking about.
Look, I kind of feel bad for my younger siblings because I'm the oldest of 9, and I have 3 younger sisters. So they're never gonna have a love life because they have 6 older brothers.
Oh, that's what my brother told me. And so I told him, man, it's
let them be. Let them be.
No.
No, give them a second. Oh, sorry.
Nah, do not let them be.
How old are your sisters though? Because it definitely depends. The age definitely.
They range. The youngest one just turned 3, and then the oldest one just turned 16.
Oh yeah, tell that 16-year-old to sit down. She be
Yeah, be hard on
them. Boys
them.
don't want nothing, but
Don't let up.
Don't let up on neither one of them.
Protect them.
Not even a 3-year-old.
And continue to spit game.
3-year-old.
Yeah, my
All
sisters
right.
are gonna be so well equipped with 6 brothers.
Yeah, definitely well protected. We're going to keep the conversation going. We got a new lady on the panel, Lindsay. I like to just let people know, you know, anybody who's new to my panel, you know, no cursing, no foul language, and respect each other, all right? Lindsay, you have any thoughts on the prompt? Ladies, do you expect men to pay on the first date? Go ahead, Lindsay.
Yeah, I think it depends on first of all who sets up the date, and what the date is. if we're going out for drinks, I might say like, oh, I'll allow you to like buy me a drink or two, but you're not getting all of them, right? So it's sort of 50-50. If we're getting dinner, then I'm probably gonna pay for my own meal if it's like a first date, right? Because like I don't want any expectations of like I have to like you so that you can get my dinner, right? But I think if it's a man setting up like an extravagant first date and I'm coming into this like this is not in my tax bracket. I got a call, sorry.
All right.
If it's like this is not in my tax bracket and you're setting up this date, then sorry, like I don't have the money to pay for that date, right? So it's sort of it depends on the situation. I think it very much should just be in the moment, sort of, if that makes sense. Like dinner to me is always 50-50, but a first date is not always dinner, right?
Well, you're right, because let's just say a first date is like an ice cream date or tea and coffee or whatever, right? I mean, he could pay for that, right? That's not a problem, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but I also probably would say like I probably would buy my own ice cream without even thinking about him buying my ice cream, right? But if he steps up and wants to buy my ice cream, I'm not going to say no. But I also might buy his ice cream, you know? It's like, again, it's situational.
Really? So you on a first date you might do that, huh?
Yeah, I don't
You
really
might you
mind.
might buy his.
If
Okay.
it's ice
Okay.
cream, that's $5 out of my pocket. So I don't really
Yeah.
care.
I mean, you got places like
If
Cold
I end up
Stone.
marrying that
Yeah.
guy,
Uh
he's spending more money on my ring than I'm spending on his ring. So
huh. That's a
it
huge
evens
fact.
out, doesn't it?
Amen to that. I highly
Yeah,
agree.
a diamond's a little more expensive than just a gold band. So
Yeah, that's true.
evens it out.
Hey, you be surprised how many women don't know that they gotta buy the man's wedding band. You be
Dude,
surprised how
wait, could
many
I
women.
tell? Sorry.
So, like, who
You know
don't
how my
know?
mom bought? Sorry.
That fifth, that should be your next prompt.
Yeah, make that a prompt. You know how my
Yeah.
mom bought my dad's wedding ring? Guess.
How? Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's such a good story. So where I live, we have a few casinos. I don't live in Vegas, but we have a few casinos, and so she had the ring on her finger already, so she knew she had to get the band. So she went to a casino. She was really good at casinos, and she tripled the money that she got. Like she went into a casino with I think like $500, and then tripled that money, and she used all that money to buy his wedding band.
Now that's
Mm.
crazy because
I don't recommend it,
I don't.
but that's
I was
what
just
she
gonna
did.
say I wouldn't recommend nobody do that.
No, I would not recommend it, which is why I think it's like a crazy and funny story. That's why she wasn't a gambler,
Well,
but I think
kudos
it was
to your
like she was with
mom,
her
'cause she
girls or
did.
something.
Look, your mama did that because I'm not doing that.
Dude, she did that.
Yeah,
Well, she also was already making money, so she could have bought the band any other way.
I
But
ain't doing it.
that's the money she used. Yeah, sorry, not like a. Don't do that, everybody. I just think it's a funny story. That's like how
So
she bought the band.
So it sounds like, I mean, regardless, she would have did. She would have bought the band. I mean, she would have put effort towards buying the band, but
Yeah.
she just so happened to have a fortunate, lucky, very lucky situation where she was able to kind of come up off of a deal and then kind of just go from
Well,
there.
to be fair, she paid more money than she would have because she got that money from the casino. So she got like better gold for the ring, and she like bought a better band.
Right.
But like yeah, she would have bought it either way. I just think that's a funny story. She was with her girls, and she was like, you know what? Let's get my dad, his name. Let's get him a really good ring. So she went and she was really good at blackjack, and yeah. She wasn't a gambler, but
I don't think you.
I feel like this is coming across not as funny as
I mean, I
No,
mean, I mean,
the
we we
game.
we
It's
we
a
get
cute
it.
story.
Yeah, say it again, Angie. What'd you say?
It's a cute love story.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's unique to the experience, and that's something that you found. I mean, that your parents told, and that is a memory for them for the rest of their life, and that's dope. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it was
saying?
nice for me.
Yeah, yeah. And so, let me get to Zacchaeus real quick, and I'm gonna get back to you, Lindsay. Zacchaeus, what up, man?
Hey, what's good, man? Hey, Fifth, what's good? Hey, ladies, what's good? How's everything, man?
hey,
Hey,
Yes.
hey, wait, Rambo, you trying to say Lindsay not? Hey, Lindsay, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, just making sure. All right, but yeah,
Yeah.
Zacchaeus, man, you see what the ladies are. I don't know how you came in, but the ladies are saying that they do expect men to pay on the first date. But then there's also some caveats there, right? There's also, hey, I'm gonna have my own money just in case. I'll offer the tip. I'll offer to pay for the second or third date or whatever. Like there's a mix of opinions, but general consensus is, women expect men to pay on at least the first date. You know what I'm saying? So, Zacchaeus, what's your response to that? Like, I mean,
Man,
from
let
a
me tell
man's
you something.
perspective.
From a man's perspective, I'm coming from the old school, the 80s and 90s, I would say, because I was became an adult in the 1990s. So it's tradition that when you ask a woman out that you pay for the first date, you ask her out, so you pay automatically. All my life of dating, I know to do that. It's like a natural thing, You take a young lady out, you court her, the very first date, you're gonna cover the very first date, and then as time goes on, and she gets comfortable with and she gets more comfortable with you. Now it's more like now you get comfortable with each other and relax with each other. Then if you want to go Dutch, then you go Dutch, and and she want to cover you sometime, then she cover you sometime. But traditionally, from where I'm from, being this age now, I know that to be a tradition. I don't know no other way. Yeah.
So,
Wait, can I
Rambo
ask a
earlier.
question?
Go ahead, Lindsay. Go ahead.
Right. What if the woman asked the man out on the date first?
If the woman asks the man out on a date, this generation, maybe that's possible in this generation. Maybe because ladies are making money now. So it could be a possibility that she cover, but usually, even if she say, hey, I want to go out somewhere, usually she looks at him and expect him to cover her.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for me. If
But as time,
if I
but
like you and I'm
as,
like, let's go
yeah.
here, then if I'm choosing it, then I would expect it's either 50-50 or I'm covering it. Like if we're getting drinks, then like I'll cover the first one. If I asked you out to that place, right? I feel like that's very fair. If I'm asking you out to go here, then I should cover at least some of it.
Yeah, but I look at it. See, now I've been married for over 20 plus years, right? So my wife,
Congratulations.
so my wife, she covers me every now and then she covers me, and it's like, cause your money is my money is your money. Even as time goes on, you get comfortable with the person. Eventually, she covers you. She's like, she covers you. Back in the days with the movies and dinner, cover you, easy cover you. And as you go out, as time goes on, she covers you automatically. She covers you because she says, I'm the one that planned this date, so I cover you. But the very first date, usually men are doing the approaching. Usually men are doing the accent. I'm coming from a generation where women never did the accent. It's usually the woman expect a man to approach, even if she's giving him signals and signs to approach and ask her out on a date. Yeah, so I'm not used to women coming on the very first date and paying everything. I'm maybe because I'm this age now, but I'm not used to that at all. No.
Can I chime in?
Go ahead, Angie.
I want to say, Lindsay, I think that you should, because when I was, and I'm the youngest person on the panel, I would say, like, when I was younger and I was dating in like my teenage years, I used to think the same way, and I would like, think, but now that I'm like in my early 20s, I'm 22, and I'm navigating my dating life a little bit differently, it is imperative that you allow a man to be a man. Allow him to pay. Allow him. Don't make
No.
allow that man. I'm telling you,
No.
allow that man to pay.
If I need to allow a man to do anything, that's not the kind of man I'm looking for, you know?
Elaborate, please.
Yeah, so I think so I am a feminist. But I don't know if that matters too much, but I think for me it's always been very important that it's 50-50. And if a man thinks that me paying for dinner is an issue, then that's an ego I don't want to deal with. So I've always like the best relationships I've had, the one I'm in now, were when we paid 50-50 on the first date. And then, it's back and forth. It's not about he cares about me through money. He cares about me through other ways, like I don't know. He brings me my favorite chocolates every now and then I'll bring him a Red Bull every now and then, So it's like I don't think that's the best way to have a relationship if that's not what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, then for sure. But that's not me, right? So I think again, it's situational. It depends on every singular person.
I hear where you're coming from, but I didn't really mean it in terms of like, oh, like, we're looking for a relationship. I think we're specifically talking about the first date. I think that chivalry is going a little dead due to like the over feminist, like feminist movement. Like, I think it went a little too far, and now that has resulted in men not being allowed to be men. Like, we are taking on masculine roles, and I think try it, see how it goes. But I think you're in a relationship. If let me know if I heard incorrectly. But if you ever go out on a first date, allow that man or have that man pay first.
Well,
And I know what you
don't
mean
think
about like allowing, because I hear what you say about the ego, but allowing him to pay. And I mean, like, not automatically going. Like, I know in you're probably used to like, okay, yeah, let me pay, let me go 50-50. Actually take a step back before you even do that and see if he's gonna do that first. That's what I'm saying. Like, allow him to step in and
does,
do
but
chivalry.
that's not what's gonna bring chivalry back. And I don't think chivalry is technically unalived, right? Like, I don't think chivalry's gone. I think, sorry, you might hear some whining in the background. That's my dog. I don't think chivalry is necessarily gone. I just think we don't have our grandpas around anymore. So like, if I can think of the most chivalrous person, it probably was my grandpa, right? But that idea of like holding the door open for people, not necessarily just a woman, right? That's still very much around. Like, if you, I'm so sorry. If you like are holding a door open for someone, right? That is chivalry. So I think it's still very much alive. I don't think we have to go to this, we hate feminists and we don't,
Lindsay, stay right there.
Yeah, sorry,
So
I got very distracted by my dog, so some of that might have been a little bit not.
it's okay. You came up here to mention that you're a feminist, right? And so you believe in 50-50
I came up here to
on the
talk
first.
about yes, I came up here to
No,
talk about the date. Yeah.
yes, you did. You came up here to talk about the date, but you did mention that you are a feminist. So I do want to ask this question about the 50-50 part, being that you labeled yourself as a feminist, right? And I'm not attacking you, but
Oh, I don't think you are.
do you believe that now further into the relationship? Like, for instance, because a lot of women have different opinions on this. Are you willing to go 50-50 in a marriage in terms of like bills, splitting it down the middle?
Isn't that how that works? You just put all your money into a pot?
That is how that works, but is that something that you stand by?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why I
If
asked that
you're
question,
unionized, why would you not put all of your money
right?
into one bank account and then that money comes where it comes from? You're both
Well, the
paying
reason
bills for the same thing.
well, the reason why I asked that question is because I've had so-called feminists come on this panel and say that they're feminists, right? But then when I ask them if they'll pay half the bills, they'll say no.
I don't know. I don't agree. There's like certain waves of feminists. Some are performative feminists, I will say. Like they only like it when it's good for them. I don't
Yeah,
know. This
most of
is
them
just the
are.
way I think, and feminism is the best umbrella to put myself under, I guess. But yeah, I would go 50-50 for everything. I feel like that's fair, don't you think?
Can I ask you a question?
I mean, maybe like 58-50, right? Because of the pay gap, but
Mic check.
ooh, that was a joke. That was a joke. Yeah. Somebody asked if they could ask me a question.
Yeah, can I ask you a question? So you said 50-50 on everything, correct?
Yeah.
So, hypothetically speaking, let's say you and your man are at home alone and someone breaks into your house. Do you expect him to get up, or are you both going to get up and defend your household?
Damn.
Well, if like which side is the weapon on, you know? Like
No,
who's gonna get there faster, safest?
no. If someone breaks into your home and you're both sitting on the couch,
Oh, we're
and
both on the couch.
and he looks at you and he's like, "Why aren't you getting up?" Is that going to be an issue for you?
So I feel like if we
It's gonna
both
be
are
an
in the
issue
same,
for me
I don't like
because
this
you
question
said
because I feel like
me.
if we're both in the same home, would you not both get up at the same time? Would you not both get up at the same time?
I mean, for me, no. My wife
Okay,
knows
well
you get the
then,
kids and you try to find a way
good
out.
thing
You
I'm
don't get in my
not.
way.
Yeah. In my house, if somebody comes in the door, everybody just gets up to see who's coming in, right? So that would be like yes, both. We would both be there. Strength in numbers, no?
Wow.
I mean, if that's how you run your
Damn.
relationship.
All right.
Why would you go one when you can go two? You know?
Mm.
Somebody was really far away from the microphone there, but they said something. I want to know what they said. The first 5 minutes of Supernatural, I'm not getting up. I fear that's a TV show. It's not really.
Fit.
No, I was saying.
Hey, go ahead, Beyonda. You've been waiting for a while. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Damn. Okay. I'm not gonna respond to that yet. I'm gonna respond to the prompt first. um. Do you expect men to pay on the first date? The times have shifted, you know. It's kind of weird. Back then, to pay for the first date, it kind of like symbolized that the man, you know, is courteous, you know, he cares, interest, effort, generosity, whatever, right? It was chivalry at its finest back then. But then, you know, the feminist, you know, type of movement came in and, you know, said, hey, 50-50 and, you know, everyone's equal, blah, 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 which is good on paper, but in practice, it just never worked because now we're in a day and age where like everything is very ambiguous, gray area. It's not, you know, so much black and white anymore, to the point where like, you know, now men are on defense, you know, so a lot of guys might think, oh, you know what, if I take a girl out on a date and she don't offer, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask her 2 checks because she just thinks that I'm gonna, you know, just pay for everything. Or you have men that, simply don't care anymore and want to be taken care of, like, they need a mother or whatever. And so because women wanted this equal, thing, so now men are taking advantage of that. But then you have, men like myself that I paid on my first date whenever I met my fiance. I still believe in that whole stuff, but only for the right woman. So it just depends. It's really a gray area. There really is no like right or wrong answer, especially because everyone's opinions on the matter is very subjective, and everyone has their truth apparently now. So there really is no telling if it's right or wrong.
Wait, something was just brought up, and I think this is the important question. So, the Beyonder, what do you go by? Beyond?
Yeah, the Beyonder, that's fine. Yeah.
Beyonder. Just mentioned you have a fiance.
Yeah.
How did you propose? I swear I have a point for this.
How did I propose?
Yeah.
I took her to like this nice Christmassy place with all these lights, and I got on one knee and asked the question.
That sounds so nice. My point for this is I think the man should propose.
Well,
but this isn't a question that we're
then,
asking enough, right?
What?
So propose.
Yeah, that's the 50-50. That's where the 50-50 changes, right?
That's not
That
really a good
ends.
point.
It
though,
ends
because
there.
men-
It ends there. You know what? I do like my Cinderella story at the end of the day, and it ends there.
So you're
I'm not
actually
proposing. I'm so
50-50.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, men give out marriage, women give out sexual access.
Well,
So
if
that's-
some other woman wants to propose, that's fine. At the end of the day, totality, that's 50-50. Not for me. Not for me. But do you want us to both propose at the same time? No. But I think that's an important question to ask. Everybody's going to say 50-50 on the first date. Who's proposing? That's the important question.
Hey, Pleasure, you have the. Let me let Pleasure get in here.
Yeah, please. I like
He in the
Pleasure.
comments. Yeah, Pleasure. Go ahead, brother. You have the floor. You see the prompt. Just responding to the ladies. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
First and foremost, good afternoon, morning, whatever it is, I'm great week. Listen, if I do a mellow, I'm paying because we're gonna go do something I want to do, and I'm asking you to join me to take financial responsibility. I think as we're adults who are actually working to care for ourselves, that should be the standard for gender.
Hey, your phone is breaking up really bad. Your phone is breaking up really bad.
Is this better?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay.
That man got a whole bedroom.
I give my
voice.
youngest daughter. I give my youngest daughter actually two standards, but one standard when it comes to dating. And I told her, if anybody ever asks you out on a date, ask yourself one simple question. Would I pay for myself in pursuit of spending time with this person? If the answer is no, don't go out with them. Because we all know as adults who work hard for our money, we don't spend money on things that we don't want to do. So if you're going out with somebody just because they're paying, odds are you probably don't want to spend time with them. If Fifth calls me up and says, hey, you want to go to a hockey game? I got an extra ticket. Sign me up. You had me at free. But if he says, hey, I'm going to a hockey game and the tickets are $150, I don't like hockey. So no, I'm not going. So I think if women take a step back and look at it like that, if you're even willing to pay for yourself, that should be a very simple metric to let you know whether or not you're actually interested in the person. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you have to. Just ask yourself that question. Would I pay for myself to spend time with this person? And my personal standard is I'm gonna give you 3 dates. If you can't show up with at least a cup of coffee after that, deuces. It's not reciprocating. You're not giving any effort. You're not making any steps or strides. You're just taking advantage of my generosity, and I'm not dealing with that. So I don't think it's wrong for anybody to ask for reciprocity when it comes to the dating practices. And It shouldn't be this hard. We're all adults. We all make money. We all want to go out. The date should be about getting to know each other, not how much money we're spending on each other. So let's just keep it simple. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if I can, and to my, I think you proved a little bit what I was saying earlier about how a lot of guys will go on defense in terms of like how they pay for the date, because a lot of women will go on a date. They don't go on a date with a guy they don't like just because of the fact that that guy's paying. And if that guy has money, she might get, a good time, but won't give that guy any access to her at all. So a lot of guys nowadays, if they have a certain amount of money, they'll go on defense and see if she offers. She offers, then that's a good sign for him, because now he's like, okay, she's not in it for the money. She actually likes me. You know what I mean? So
And a lot of women put themselves in this trap where they tell each other, if a man likes you, he'll spend money on you. And I think every man up here knows and agrees, just because I spent money on you, it doesn't mean I like you. It just means I had
Exactly. I
money
was
to
just gonna
spend.
say that.
Yup. But I think you should elaborate on that.
Elaborate on the, if a man likes me, he'll spend money on me.
Yeah, like that they just because they do that, that don't mean that they always like you.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, here's the thing. Women always complain about men being manipulative, but they don't understand that a lot of times they sign up for that manipulation. If you ask the majority of women, have you ever paid for a first date? They'll say no. And they'll say, because a man paying for their first date shows that he's a leader, shows that he's interested, shows that he likes you. Ask that same woman, have you ever been lied to, cheated on, or manipulated? The answer is often yes. So that man paying for the first date didn't really prove anything. It just means that you were willing to give him the opportunity to manipulate you. If I take you out on a first date, I have a car pick you up, take you to a Michelin star restaurant, have a dozen roses delivered to the spot. Afterwards, we spend $500 on dinner and then take a helicopter tour around the city. Yeah, you like me because of all the things that I've done for you, but it doesn't mean that I like you. It just means that I wanted an amazing experience. I spent some money, and now you're all up in your feelings talking about you're hearing wedding bells. But the reality is, what I did for you, I did for another woman last week. And what I did for you, I'm going to do for another woman next week. So I think if women really just take a step back and just put themselves in a position of, how can I eliminate all the manipulation factors that a man can produce in this relationship? And those are money, romance, and smecks. Go Dutch, no smecks for 6 to 9 months if you want a happy, healthy future relationship. Otherwise, you go get whatever you can get your bag. I don't care. I'm married. I
So,
don't have a dog in the race.
okay, so Pleasure, I just got one thing to say.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
man you know waiting 6 to 9 months for some behind? Please let me know what to
But
find a
here,
way.
that's a
Okay.
great question. That's a great question. But let's talk about it for a second, right? If you tell me that you're not going to be comfortable with having a sexual relationship with me until we really know each other and really spend some time together, if I'm the type of dude that only wants to smash, I'm going to be offended. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to kick you to the curb. I'm probably going to ghost you. But if I'm really intentional about getting to know you and building a relationship with you, that wouldn't be a problem for me. So you're saying, what man is going to wait? The man that actually wants to get to know you, spend time with you, and build a relationship with you. A man that's serious about vetting. A man that's serious about discernment. That's the answer to your question.
But some of those men that always say, "Oh, I'm serious about this or that," they end up doing it with somebody else and still claim that they for you.
Which
That's why
is
I'm asking, like, where do
That's
you
true.
find that man at?
which is
Just because
fine.
you waiting on him and he waiting on you, don't mean he
And
ain't
they
waiting
ain't
on
in a
another
church.
person.
They ain't in a
But
church.
listen to what you're saying. You're arguing against proper vetting standards. You're arguing against being able to see the true nature and character of a man. You're saying that if I make him wait, he's going to go get it somewhere else, which proves that
No,
he's
that's
not
not
the
what I'm
man.
saying. I said, what if he's telling the woman that he's waiting with her? Because that's something that they came up with. But he finds someone else and says, "Oh, I'm going to do this with you right now because I want you right now." And that's what he's doing, but he's telling the girl that he's supposed to be waiting for, and she's waiting on him, that he's not doing anything. That's what I'm saying.
So you're asking, how do you find out whether or not a man is lying to you about that?
Yes.
I mean, you can't unless he just sucks at lying to you about that. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not gonna pretend that people don't mask, that people don't hide, that sometimes it's hard to see true intentions. I'm just saying, put yourself in the best position where the cowards, the whoremongers, the horn dogs, they're gonna reveal themselves based on the standards that you present. Like I said, if you take Smex, romance, and money off the table, you will be able to see the true intentions and character of a man. If he's willing to, if he's willing to wait, if he's okay with you doing 50-50, if he wants to take his time with the relationship. And listen, this is not to say that Smex is an important part of that process, but at the same time, it's not necessarily something that we have to rush into. If you tell me you want to wait 6 months, I'm gonna tell you, let's make it a year if I'm serious about you.
Yeah, can I say one thing, 50, before I let Boots
I get
talk
it.
really
Thank
quick?
you. Pleasure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead, Beyond it. Then I gotta
Yeah,
let
really
Boots
quick.
respond.
Yeah,
Go
to
ahead.
kind of elaborate, like, you have to understand that men and women are very similar in how they categorize who they like and who they don't like. So a woman would categorize, like, let's say women have guys in their friend zone and guys have girls in sex only zone. It's kind of like the same thing. So they'll treat certain women like, you know, they'll reveal their wicked nature in the sense that they want to just have like sex or whatever, or sexual access. And then like if a woman doesn't like the guy, they show this put him in the friend zone.
That's true.
I agree.
Yeah, yo, Boots. What up, Boots?
What's going on, man?
What's going on? I just like to explain the rules so people who are new to my panel. Okay, up here, no cursing, no foul language. Respect each other. All right. Now, this is a
I
question
got
for
you.
the
No
ladies, but
problem.
yeah, no problem. This is a question for the ladies, but this is a question also that the men can respond to from the ladies' point of view. Do ladies expect men to pay on the first date? What you think?
I think they do, but I also want to respond to what old boy said before he left, and to what Miss Lovely, what she said. I
Yeah,
mean,
go
for
ahead.
me, do I think a woman is worth waiting for if she's a virgin or gently touched? Yeah, but if she's not worth waiting for, because I want the best bargain for my time and attention and resources, just like she wants the best bargain for hers. And what happens is that we tend to ignore or not look for exactly what we're looking for. We're always picking the aesthetics. But if I have a female who shows up and shows out for me, and she's genuinely in it to win it, then, and I genuinely like her, only then will I wait. You know, I respect her position, but I'm looking for something rare. So if that woman shows up and shows out, and she has a low body count, or she's a virgin and preserving herself for marriage, absolutely I will wait with no complaints, because that's worth it to me. But a lot of women today are standing too close to women who have very low mindsets. They're looking at right now, not long term. So if you're standing too close to people who don't have your level of standards and what you want in a man, then in my opinion, you're ruining your chances. Just like if you see a whole bunch of pit bulls running down the street, you're not going to stand there to try to figure out which one is going to bite you. You're going to move. And so that's how I look at it. And I'll land right there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Black Diamond. What's up, Black Diamond? How you doing?
What up, Rambo?
Black Diamond, where you at?
She might have walked away from her phone for a minute,
Okay.
but she definitely listening though.
Yeah, Boots, I
Yeah.
like what you said about the her maintaining her femininity and preserving herself, because that is a very good point. Because I've had women out here that are 5-6 kids deep, and then they're telling me that they're celibate until marriage. Yeah, you can celibate that to someone else.
Damn.
That's an insult. That is
Yeah,
an
I agree with
absolute
that.
insult for a woman to say that. I mean, like you done pushed out some kids out of you. Now I give you credit if you got one, but if you got more than one, you can't tell me you celibate until marriage. That's just ludicrous and insane.
Yep, celibated that to someone else. I'm not the
Yeah,
one.
exactly. Yep.
Did you just say sell a bit to someone else?
Yep.
Nah, you can't make this up.
I cannot.
I mean, like for
Oh,
example, I had a lady on my panel
uh,
last night
Fifth,
who
she said, Black said drop her for 1 minute. She'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
I had a lady on my panel last night who stated that when she was 29, she got pregnant by a dude that was like Pookie and Ray Ray, who admitted to her or told her that he was an addict, and he ended up being in prison after she had their child. I'm like, but you knowingly had a child with a person who looked you dead in your face and told you that they were on substances and telling you that they were in treatment, but you never demanded proof. You went off the aesthetics and you let your low self-esteem lead you astray, and now y'all have a child. So are you going to tell your child that the reason they don't have a competent father is because you had low self-esteem and a friendly box? We have to do better as a community. A lot of women have met their number one guy that's willing to show up, show out, and be accountable and responsible for what they do and don't do. But a lot of good men are invisible to a lot of women. Until women change the rules, this won't get better.
I agree. For some of it.
Mr.
What do you
Unknown.
disagree with?
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, you see the prompt, all right? The
Right.
ladies are speaking. Well, basically the men are just responding to the ladies, you know? Do ladies expect men to pay on the first date? Pretty simple. What you think, Mr. Unknown?
you know, uh, most of the dates I have been on before, I ended up paying bills at my first date. I don't know how women feels about it, but I ended up paying a bill at my first date. So this is something that I would like to hear more from a woman and see if I can make a response. But I have been in that situation, most of the time when I go out with my girls, right? In the first date, I ended up paying a bills. I never asked to pay for them, and they never say that they're gonna pay for it. But this is something that I would like to hear more from a woman and see if I can make a response on that. Thank you.
Black Diamond, you ready now?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So am I being asked a question?
Well, so
Right.
so the topic is, do you expect men, do the ladies expect men to pay on the first date? Go ahead, Black Diamond, and then you can get into what you got to get into.
Well, I don't honestly feel like the man should always pay on the first date. It just depends on the situation. I have been on a date where I paid on the first date, so no.
Hey,
But
Black Diamond, can you come closer to the phone for the sake of the show? Only because we want to hear you. You sound a little far away.
Can you hear me better now?
yes.
It's a little better. Yes, go ahead, man.
Okay, I was saying that I have paid on the first date, so I wouldn't say no, I expect the man to pay. It just depends on the situation.
Yes, pretty
Okay.
much. Shall I
Can
quit?
you can you elaborate? Only because we want to get context. Can you elaborate on the situation for specifics?
Well, it just depends. Like, honestly, I can't say what a situation occurs. It just has to be the heat of the moment, depending on like how much you know the person, how well you're dealing with the person. I have paid on the first date because I thought the guy was pretty cool. I actually liked him, but it just depends because you're not gonna go on a date with any and everybody. So it just depends on the situation. Like maybe you go with someone at the time and you might not have it, and you guys want to go out, and you'll say, "Hey, I front the bill," or vice versa. So you just never know.
Shall I make a quick response here? Fifth brother, do you want me to speak or do you want me to wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I think she landed her plane. Go ahead
Okay,
and
I don't know about others, but when it comes to the first date, I have certain limitation, boundaries, and expectations with the humans. I think man has to work a little bit hard to be with the woman in a first date. So it doesn't really matter if woman wants to pay a bill at first date, it's totally fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But as a man, I have certain standards when it comes to the first date. But it depends on the situation and circumstances where I am going at and how expensive is the place. And it also comes with what I have in my wallet. But 90 out of 100 times, I like to pay at my first dates because I have certain standards and I feel like I have to work doubly hard to impress or just to be in front of her, like as a man, like I'm at least responsible to pay a bill at the first date. Something that comes on the notion of feelings on the back of my head. So if she wants to pay it, I will not say never, but I would love to pay at my first date with all these standards, limitations, and boundaries. I feel very unusual if I let women to pay a bills at my first date because I have to hold the accountabilities and responsibilities, especially in the first date. This is the point that I would like to land. Thank you, and I hope it makes sense to you guys.
Can y'all hear me?
I do. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, so Black, you wasn't in here when me and Angie
nah,
first
lovely. We
started.
could not hear you. We could not hear you. There's a lot of background noise.
That's the TV. Give me 1 minute. Hold on, give me 1 minute. All right, that's better.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Black, you wasn't in here when me and Angie first started. We were saying the first date depends. If the man asks you out, then the man should pay. But if the female asks you out, the female should pay. And but every situation is different, like you said. But I'm not paying on the first date if I didn't ask. That's just me. I just feel like if a man asks me out on a date, I shouldn't have to pay. But that don't mean I'm going outside with no money in my pocket.
Jackie Harris.
So, yeah.
I was okay. So in that situation, I kind of agree, and then again I don't because, like I said, what if he just wants to go out and have a good time and his pockets may be low? So you saying just because he asked you out, he should pay? Yes, that's normally how women think. But things have changed. You have real women out here that understand certain matters. And what I mean by that, meaning you may run into a good guy and he can be dealing with some tough things in life, or he may not even have a job. You're gonna wait till he actually have a job and ask you to go out.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till he got a
I
job.
would. Thank you, Angie, because I was just going to say I definitely wait.
Okay, and if the code
But
is
we don't always have to go outside to have a
349
date.
Right. And
We
also,
don't
you
have
know,
to.
Hectic
No,
too.
We can
most
go.
definitely.
We can do a day at a park. We can do a picnic. We can go to the zoo. We can do those things.
Yeah,
like
but what if he don't
it
have the
don't never.
gas
It don't
money to
have.
pick you up?
If he don't got the
I got a
money or
car.
the gas, like, you know, it's all about the thought that counts, or the thought that goes into the action. How creative are you when you don't have the means to, I guess, get it done financially? How creative are
Right.
you? If you don't have
Agreed.
enough money, will you go? I said earlier that I
exactly.
had $30 to my name, and I went to the grocery shop, and I made something shake for breakfast. I made it shake real hard for breakfast for me and my man, and that's all I had. He ain't know.
So you want it to be the effort in the beginning of the relationship
Right.
before.
Right. It,
Right.
Right. That's all it is effort.
and also, it also depends on the report with the person that I'm going in a date, and how did we initiate the dates, you know?
Right,
And
how you know the
yeah,
person,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And budgeting and stuff, as you rightfully said, what is in your wallet does matter, no matter wherever you go, right? Yeah. So there are so many things that it comes, but definitely, if I am a man and if I am going for my first date, I will hold the accountability of my wallet, and I'll see what I can do and how I would initiate the first date and where we were going at. All depends on the wallet. Yes, I got it. If I have $10 and if I'm going out for a dinner with my girl, I mean, with the person that I wanted to date, then I don't think so it will be good for me, right? So I have to see at my wallet too. Yep.
Okay, so fifth, how do you feel about all the responses that you had so far?
It says Xfinity Mobile Billing.
Yeah, you've been real quiet. We want to hear you now.
So there's some things I agree with on the male side in terms of, like, you know, if she don't offer to at least pay on third, fourth, fifth date or whatever, I could agree with that. I mean, I just feel like at some point, like I said earlier, when a woman is feeling you, at some point she will come out of her wallet for you, and it doesn't have to be a lot. You know, I'm not asking for her to, you know, pay for a tomahawk steak. Not asking that, you know, but, you know, I tend to, in my life, I have seen, ladies, at least offer the tip. You know what I mean? They'll pay the tip. They'll leave it. They'll literally pull out the cash. This is what to do. I mean, I once in my life, had a woman, I took her out. I think this was like on the second date or whatever. And she was like, hey, let me, she saw me getting my money together to pay for the tip, right? And she said, nah, let me get it. And I let her get it. I mean, I paid for the meal, but yeah, she paid for the tip. So, but she was, she was feeling me though. So, I mean, that's a sign, I've never had a woman pay for the first date. I did have a woman offer. Oh wait, I'm lying. A woman asked me out, but it's simple. We went to like the movies or something like that, and she paid for the ticket, the popcorn, and the nachos. Hey, it is
My
what it
wife
is.
left.
Hey, if it's free, it's for me. If it's free, it's for me.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
But fifth,
But
you have some women that don't mind paying for everything for a man, especially if she likes you and if she's financially stable. That's a lot of things that people don't understand. So that's why I said some people do 50-50. Sometimes a man pays, sometimes a woman pays, but it just depends on the situation.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
long as it's
and
like mutual, like in terms of us, like I guess putting into each other and stuff like that, it really don't matter.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, it was the movies. She paid for the snacks. You know what I mean? I mean, I it's cool. You know what I mean? I let that happen because at first I was like, nah, I don't know. But she asked me. She was like, hey, let's go, and she let me pick the movie. You know what I'm saying? And she paid. She paid that night. I paid the other nights. You know what I'm saying? But she paid that night. Shout outs to her. You know what I mean? Um. What else? As far as anything else, I pay on the first date because number one, I'm always asking. For the most part, I'm always asking a woman, and I do believe whoever who asks pays. But check this out. I've even paid. I've had a woman ask me, and I paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's I expect to pay. As a matter of fact, peep game, right? If a woman asks me out on a date, uh, I won't say yes unless I have the money to cover it. I'll say it again. If a woman asks me out on a date, even though she asked me, I'll make sure I got the money. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna pay for that date, even though she asked me. You know what I mean? So you know, I'm not gonna say yes and then I'm broke. You know what I mean? Empty pocket. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
okay, Fifth. I
That's
get it.
because
I
that's
understand.
what most women expect from men.
What'd you say, Black Diamond? Say it again.
I said that's because that's what most women expect from men for them to pay the first date.
And you know what? I'm gonna get the so real next. I'm gonna get the so real next after I talk this one thing. I'm not mad at it. I don't think real talk. No, look, any reasonable man is not mad at paying for the first date. I think it's just the quality of the demand of the woman and the entitlement and attitude behind it that's a problem. So if a woman is kind, courteous, and sweet, of course. But if her attitude is you you better be taking me to this place or else. What? So I think it's more so that than it is about. We ain't got no problem with that. We ain't got no problem with that. But the energy that the Cheesecake Factory lady had, oh no, I would have took her back home. You know what I'm saying? If you come in with that energy, I would have took her back home.
Make her walk for that cheesecake.
Facts. Get a Uber, Lyft. You know what I mean? So real, how you doing? So real.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, I like to let people know when they new to my panel, all right? No cursing, no foul language, respect each other, all right? Now you see the prompt up there. You've been in the chat, I seen you. Check this. All right. So ladies, do you expect men to pay on the first date? What's your thoughts, so real?
I do. I feel like if he asks me out, then yeah, he should be paying for the first date. And if I ask him out, then yes, I would pay for it unless he insists on it. And if he's expecting me to pay on the first date, then he needs to let me know that ahead of time. Like if we splitting or whatever, he should let me know that ahead of time, not at the date.
Would you go still on that date if said man that you have interest in is asking to go Dutch and asking to split the bills? Would you still go on that date?
Yeah, I would. If he let me know it up front, that's different. But if he's telling me we go on the date and then at the end of the day he like, oh yeah, so can you give us 2 checks? Nah, you got me messed up.
Let me be a little cynical. What if on the date you had an attitude and the waitress comes over and he's like, nah, let's split it. You don't think you
And if
deserve that?
our vibe wasn't good, then I'll be like, yeah, can you just split that? I'll even insist on it. If the vibe wasn't good and I felt like, yeah, this was a waste of my time, let me go ahead and pay my part and leave. That's how I feel. Like, but if it was going good, everything was on like a good vibe and everything, I expect him. If he asked me, yeah, I expect him to pay. But if I asked him, I would most definitely, I had no problem with doing that. I would pay.
let me keep it with you real quick, and then I'm gonna get to Kania. All right. So is it a turn off if a man asks to go half on the first date? Is it a turn off?
I wouldn't say it's a turn off on the first date now. It's, because we just getting to know each other. He letting me know, okay, I think she cool people. I like to hang out with her or whatever. And if I'm accepting it, of course, I must think that about him as well. So I wouldn't say it's a turn off. But in my initial opinion, yeah, I would expect him to pay. If he's asking me out, I would expect him to pay.
Would you ever ask a man out on a first date?
I would. If life's like that, I'm feeling kind of bold. So yeah, I ask.
Hey, I want to say something. Well, let me let
I don't have
Kania
no
get in
problem
it.
with
I'm gonna
that.
make a statement. Yeah, shout outs to you. I respect your answers. Kania, you there?
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Can you say it? I just want to make sure.
Hey, it's Kenya. It's just in Spanish, it's Kenya
Oh,
with the
Kenya.
I.
There we. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Kenya. I just like to explain the rules for people who are new here. No cursing, no foul language. All right. All right. So the prompt
Yes,
is,
sir.
ladies, do you expect men to pay on the first date? Your thoughts. Go ahead.
No. I feel like it's a vibe check and an intention check. You kind of got to gravitate what's each other's intentions. If there's no true intentions, why am I paying for something that's just for the day? I think it takes more than just, maybe the second date based off of the first date, but no, the first date, I think both should come with your own money. It's a date. It
You
ain't
split.
take care of me and take care of the bill. It's a date. You could split the date, yeah. And now if the man wants to be courteous, amen. But no, I don't expect that. I think as a grown woman mindset, you shouldn't have expectations on someone you're dating. I think you kind of got to feel that out. Because then what's your real intentions if you do? I'm not judging anybody again with this being said. I'm just saying, what is your intentions behind that man paying that bill? If you're dating and you're trying to seek what's his intentions, what the vibe is like, right? Why have expectations of that date being paid by him?
Okay. Well, man, I had a question, but it left me. Let me kind of get with you, Kenya. So, Kenya, does the place that a man is taking you to first matter?
No. It says it speaks volumes, but no.
It speaks volumes. Can you tell me the volume that it speaks for an example that you may have in your mind right now?
It kind of, right, if you go to a steakhouse versus Applebee's, it kind of tells you where that bracket, where his finance at, or where his intent, what kind of quality you are for him. That's the quality, actually. Perception also. It could be a handicap to it, but I think it's perception as well.
There's a such thing as doing too much too soon, right?
Yep.
And so that's
Yep,
the deceptive
that's why I
part.
say the first date. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying that could be the deceptive part. So, game like this, right? So a man take you to Ruth Chris, or like Noble, Capitol Grill, Steak 48, one of those type of places, right? Steakhouse places where you got to have a dress code to go into, right? So that's the first date. That might have been all he got, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Some men don't always have their personality, their wits, their honor, their communication gifts to get a woman, so they'll place it on the experience and think that's enough. So let me go ahead and use this to impress her, but really that's really all he got. He ain't got nothing really else after that. But as the woman, not you, but as some woman who on the receiving end of that and think, girl, he took me to to Ruth Chris, you know he got it like that, and then all of a sudden you realize he don't.
And that's why I say expectations. Woman, a lot of women that have that mindset go in with expecting, oh, he's the man. He's not a man because he's not paying the tab. But in fact, you're getting to know each other, so why have that expectation on that man?
Well, let's keep it right there, because let's say a man takes you to you know, Chili's, Red Lobster, like today's Red Lobster, not Red Lobster back in the 90s. Red Lobster back in the 90s used to cook, but Red Lobster now is just, different, right? So let's
Yes.
just say he takes you there, right? Some women may look at that like, oh, he cheap, he broke, he ain't, because that's the first date, But then again, I mean, the date itself, in terms of, like you said, the vibe earlier, how he talk to you, how he treats you. Maybe it's Chili's today, but then a week from now it's a nice cultural Italian restaurant, whatever type of restaurant, and it's all to the good. You know what I mean? What you say to that, Kenya?
I mean, again, it's like it's the way he's perceiving. I think it takes more than just a first date to fill it out, but it is initiative. The fact that he
Phil,
does take you there
can you?
in his
I'm
pockets.
sorry, can you? Phil, if you
Go
mind
ahead.
dropping me right quick, I got a phone call.
No problem.
I feel like you still can't have those expectations even then, because like you said, that could be all he's got, and that's what he wants to rear you in with. Because he can't take you on a second date like that, is that gonna be your expectation? Then it's like what you started out with a woman, you gotta keep going. You want her like that, you gotta keep it up. If not, you're gonna lose her like that.
Not necessarily. I feel like it all depends on the person and how you come in. Like if the vibe is genuine, just because you went all extravagant like on the first date doesn't mean that I'm gonna accept that, like, or expect that for the second date. But I do think for the first date, I do expect for the man to pay. It's a chivalry thing. I feel like men, they value what they have to work for and what they put effort into, what they have to put effort into. So I think it all boils down to that. You make it too easy for a man, then I think
But
it's
I
like a
mean,
cat. It's like
but
the
I mean,
cat and
don't.
mouse game almost, just
But
for the first
Angie,
date.
don't you think men have the same analogy for women?
I
I
think
mean, you.
they're naturally gonna want to provide or whatever for the person that they like. I think at the end of the day, what they're looking for is whether or not it will be reciprocated when the time comes, or is this person just in it? Does this person actually like me? I think that's more so what they want to know. So yeah.
No, I actually get what Kenya's trying to say. Kenya's saying analogy in terms of on the flip side, because you're talking about what a man has to do to earn a second date. But what does a woman have to do to earn a second date?
Oh, I wasn't talking about earning a second date. Oh, my bad.
No, not you.
Oh.
You mentioned in the comments about what a man will work for is what he'll put in effort for, right? Kenya's talking about a particular analogy that a man is gonna have for the woman, right? So a man is gonna do, it's kind of like a two thing. So a man is gonna do how he feels right for you, right, Angie? And then also, here's the thing. You're dating him, he's dating you. It's on both sides. So what is it that you have to do on that first date to get a second one? Because he's paying for the date. You're showing up for the date. You're participating. And earlier, don't think I ain't catch you when you said you felt that you are the prize.
Still do.
Okay, so then what you doing to get that second date, Angie?
I think it has to be mutual. We have to both
A valid question.
feel like we want to go on that second date. You feel
And
me? Like you
Angie, but
coming and you paying for the date. You feel me? Like it's because you asked me out. So if you ask me out on that date, like I said, I feel like whoever asks who out should pay. But I'm always gonna come
and
prepared to pay if
you,
push comes to shove or something happens. I'm always gonna come prepared to pay with my own money. That's always gonna be there. Now, Lost my train of thought. Sorry.
That second date, Angie. What you
Oh,
doing to get the
what
second
I'm
date?
doing, it's
Yeah,
all
Like that
about
was question.
conversation. Like, like we having a conversation. It's mutual. We both have to want the second date. Like, all right, you come in there, you pay for the date. All right, cool. Is my now that you wanted to get to know me, right? Because that's the point of you taking me out on a date. You want to get to know me. We're trying to see if we are gonna mesh well in each other's worlds at some point. So if we're on this date and that's what you're trying to see, that's why you asked me out on that date. And so now we're
right.
here and you're paying for that first date, right? To see and to get a feel of me on that first date. Now, if you're not feeling it, and if I in turn am not feeling it, then, we cut our losses. We don't have to speak again. We talk or whatever. But what I'm doing is showing up my authentic self. And that should be worth something. Him too, coming to the
Right.
table is worth something.
Angie, but you said you're the prize. So in order
I
for
am.
you to, okay, look, and I'm not debating that, right? That's how you feel about it. That's great. Awesome. What goes behind that though, in order for you to be a prize, he's got to be the winner, right? Because he won you. You're a prize, right? Or am I
Yep.
wrong? Okay, so it's a 1-in-1. It doesn't come, I mean, it comes, you guys together, not just one person. So you can't just say, I expect this from the man. But then again, leads back to what Fifth said. What are you bringing? You're bringing authenticity or yourself to the date. Okay, but it takes two to tango. He didn't just ask you on a date. It takes two to be interested for you to go walk to that date. So again, why have that expectation for that man to pay the first date if all you bring is yourself? He's bringing himself too.
Because
I'm
he
just saying it.
asked me out on a date. I'm saying if he asked me out on a date, he's making the move.
No. I'm not saying asking on a date. The prompt says, do you expect the man to pay on the first date? You said yes. You said
Yes.
you're the prize. So, okay, you're the prize. He's the winner. Now, we both agreed on that. So, with that being said, why have the expectation when y'all bringing both the same thing to the table because you're just meeting each other? Why have those expectations to have a man pay a date? Why can't, matter of fact, Betty yet said, he's the winner, right? You're the prize. Why can't he expect you to pay half that bill? Y'all both going in on the same draft. So I don't understand why expect that.
Like what I think so real. I
Mhm.
think like what she said earlier, I could be wrong if it wasn't her, but like they said earlier, like, let me know ahead of time, or like these is conversations that we will have leading up to the date, how we expect this, that, and the third, But I'm still going to bring my authentic self to the table, even though like, he's bringing himself at the table too. We're getting to know each other at the end of the day. You feel me? And money is money. You're not going to think too hard. I'm an investment. We are all like, we're both investing our time because you're investing your money and time, and I'm investing my time. You feel me? And time, especially for a woman, is very important because we have a biological clock. My time is worth something. It is worth something. Now, a man got all the time in the world, but I don't.
Wait now, and
No,
now
men
Angie.
have.
Now,
I mean,
now,
you can't really say that because, I mean, you can say whatever you want. My bad,
now,
but I'm
now,
just
now,
saying, like it just doesn't go in hand with what you're saying. That's all I'm saying.
now, Angie, I rock with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, I rock with you. All right. So, is the man the prize as well?
So I will say I want to bring up something that happened in one of my arguments. And I said I'm the prize. You forgetting that I'm the prize. He said we both are the prize. He said that to me. And I saw his point. I do believe that there is something to gain off each party, but I do think that courting is important. That's why I think that women should be courted, and I'm seeing a lack of that today, and we need to bring that back respectfully.
Absolutely. But also with that comes in a woman being submissive with that part. Because that's a lot, and that's what lacks a lot of today. A lot of women have gained independence. And yes, for a man to court you, you also got to have a vulnerable side. And there's more feminine masculinity than just any woman just being regular feminine.
I agree with that 100%.
So I'm I like Angie. I don't want to. I rock with Angie. I do not want to scare her off, but I'm being kind of nice today. But I rock with Angie because she
Nah,
said some things I want to talk to. Nah, but I like Angie. Tyler, what's going on, Tyler?
Yo, what's up with it?
What's going on, brother? Hey, this is a prompt for the ladies and then the men to respond to. You feel me? So on here, no cursing, no foul language. Do women expect men to pay on the first date? You go ahead, brother. Then you can get into the conversation with everybody else. Go ahead.
Of course. Like, yes. Like, I think, um, you know, if the woman is operating in the way that she's supposed to be operating in, then it is more than okay for her to expect the man to pay. And from the man's perspective, the man should have no problem paying. Like, when I'm pursuing a woman and I'm on a date with her and, planning out that day, the days prior, I'm not thinking about, man, is she gonna go Dutch with me? Like, is she using me? Is she gonna, pay for the tip? Oh, like what type of test can I put her to on the date to see if she's really for me? Like, no, like those are not thoughts that go through my head. Um, my main object, my main objective on the first date is to, just have fun, get to know her, and just, give her the best night that like anyone has ever gave her, or that anyone has ever given her. Like, by the end of the night when she's home and I'm on my way driving home, I know that date was a success when I get that paragraph of her expressing how amazing that night was. And when I'm asking her a follow-up question, she's giving me definite answers, like there's no uncertainty, like there's no, oh, I see, maybe, sure, like it's yes, of course. So yes, like don't think I don't think that there is any issue with a woman expecting for the man to pay. Like I think that that's the bare minimum. Like that's not even something you should have to think about. So yeah. And I'm gonna just land with this, right? If I was on a first date and a woman did pay, I would feel like she just don't like me. I would feel like, okay, this is her being nice. This is her doing this gesture because she is paying me for the inconvenience. And I'm probably not gonna hear from her again after tonight. So, that's just the way I would interpret that if that was to happen. That's it.
Tyler,
I have
I'm
a
sorry, Tyler. Tyler, one question, Kenya. 1 second, Kenya. Tyler, you said if a woman pays half or pays for the date. What do you mean? I'm sorry.
It does pay for anything. It
Okay.
could be half, it could be the full, it could be the tip, like pay for anything. I
On the
don't go
first
into the
date.
date expecting that.
Okay. No, not that you go and expecting that. But you're saying if a woman puts up any coin on the first date, that means that she's not rocking with you?
Yes.
Why would a
Okay.
woman pay for a man's tab though, and she's not rocking with you?
Hey, what'd you
So she
say?
could get the hell up out of there.
Okay, that part. Um, but fifth, I'm sorry, Tyler. I know you're doing here, but I wanted to respond to what Angie said. Angie, how on God's green earth do men have all the time in the world?
All right, so
I just that's what I wanted to know, because I know Fifth was like, whoa. I was still
now a
listening,
woman's
but I was on the
24
call.
hours.
But
Have you paid attention to the TikToks that go a woman's 24 hours and a man's 24 hours? A man has a full 24 hours, okay? Like we have to go through menstruation and all this other stuff. But when I say like a man has all the time in the world, a man, if he wants to settle down at 85 and have kids, he can do that. But if a woman wants to wait past her 50s or whatever, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. It's more money that has to be invested in that, whether that be through freezing eggs and all this other stuff, like we women don't have time to waste.
I understand that
Like,
now.
so
It makes a
like,
lot of
so
sense.
like, it's like when you're coming, we're talking about them investing their money. Women are, a woman's time is very valuable. And that's what I was trying to say ultimately.
Okay,
O-
okay, okay.
Now
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
then,
it didn't come
that
out
makes
like
plenty
that.
of sense.
That's why I came on here and I asked. Okay, I get it
That
now.
okay,
makes more sense than what she was saying before. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
if you're talking scientifically, but I just want to also add this, Angie, and I'm speaking as like a big brother because I have years on you, right? And that is this. You know, you need to also think about the time that it took the man to get to where he is at the point of life to get to you. Now, you may not know this at 22, but you know, there are things that men really have to work on themselves. Me and Beyonda know. I'm older than Beyonda, but Beyonda knows this. There are things as a man that we have to really work on, establish ourselves, and continue to still establish ourselves while we're with you, married to you. That takes time. It takes time to find the right wife, right? It takes time to, and then you got to have time beyond time. Meaning, I got to be old enough. You know, when our kids are old enough, I got to be alive long enough. That, you know, we you know, time is our time and your time should both be respected. You know what I'm saying? And so I know at 22, but Angie, when you get, I'm 38. When you get like 35, you be hard pressed. I hope you get married before then, but you be hard pressed to find a man that really want to devote any time at that point,
That's a fact.
because men get pretty limited because with their time when they get to a certain age, because it's like, well, I could be spending more time building myself up. You know what I'm saying? And so the woman that a man meets at a certain age, the time is like this. People's cars are double parked. They got eggs on the stove. Okay, they can't. You get away from them too long, it's gonna burn. You know, there are things that is very valuable. I'm not saying that you don't think a man's time is valuable, but I want you to understand something in this pride situation that I'm gonna let it go. Understand something. If you get with a man and he taking care of you for full stop, sounds like the prize is him. But here's what makes you the prize in that situation. Are you cooperative? Because if you are not cooperative, you are not a prize. And I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm just saying, Angie, you can't say that you're a prize because you look good. There's got to be some behavior things there that also makes it that. Okay?
Absolutely. Mindset, how you work on yourself, how you invest in yourself, all of that. Like, and that goes for both parties. Something that I told my ex before we had broke up and called it quits was like, at the end of the day, I want to see you invest in yourself. You know, I feel like that's very important. But no, I do cooperate. I feel like if a man is willing to, I guess, take that step, I am willing. That, you know, I do got a lot of mouth. I'm gonna admit I do, but I do know when to shut up. And when a man is doing everything that I feel he should be doing for me specifically and for himself, because you can't forget about yourself. The world is yours.
Yeah.
But
Something I did. Okay.
Angie, you don't think that if you expect a man to, you know how you say court, you gonna expect that the whole way through your whole relationship if he keeps doing that? Because we're people of nature, so
He court me, I court him back. That's it. Like throughout the
no, I'm
relationship,
not.
I
I'm not saying he's not
am.
gonna court back. I'm saying, would you expect that long term?
Yeah, I would expect that. I would expect him to keep it up. Don't slip. Don't fall.
I was gonna
And
piggyback
that's
off of
why I
what
say my.
Fitz said.
Can
Fitz
I
was
say something right there for Angie?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening, y'all.
Woman to woman, it's okay to expect things, but expectations are very big when it comes from men. Like, so you meet a man, he start out doing things, and of course we all expect him to keep doing that. But there are times man falls short, and when he falls short, you're stating that he's not continuing doing what you expected, which was what he was doing in the beginning, are you going to still be there or are you going to leave?
Now, is he falling short on his own lack of self-discipline? Because if he's falling short on his own lack of self-discipline, yeah. Now, if it's
She means
No, no.
circumstances beyond his control.
circumstances
Right,
beyond his
right.
control is different. I'm not speaking in terms of that. That's a whole different story. And I feel like when you're dating and you're trying to come together, I feel like before you even decide you want to date, you need to have your stuff together. Like if we're talking seriously dating or at least working towards something, that's how I feel. And if you're not, then ultimately, because you don't have nothing going for yourself, what can you really do to make the relationship even go anywhere?
So isn't it fair for a man to have a perception if a woman expects that, for him to actually have a perception that she's going after his wallet, not after him and what he has to offer
That
outside
is
of the
fair for
wallet?
him to have that point of view as well. That is 100% fair. I'm not knocking that.
No, so that's what I'm saying. So why have those expectations? You're gonna give that perception to that man.
That's just the way I was raised.
So
And that's just the way I was raised. And I do believe that whoever asks who out on a date should pay.
well, and then which you know, this is the reason why I'm not. I believe that like women shouldn't ask men out on the first date because it muddies the water. Like it's like, you know, as a man, you're supposed to set the tone. You know, you're the foundation. You know, you dictate what direction things go in from the beginning all the way to the end. So it's like, you know, when you have a woman just, you know, asking you out on the first date, then it messes everything up, and you start to have these conversations like, oh, okay, cool. If the woman asks the man out on the first date, that means that the woman pay. Like, no, like this is the reason why the man needs to ask the woman out on the first date, because the man needs to pay for the first date and then the second date and then the third date and so forth. And you know, the woman can pay like here and there to like show her appreciation, but like that's not something we really expect, because you know there are multiple ways to show that you love someone other than you know, it having to do anything with something financial. So yeah, that's it.
And also, I just want to say this as well. Like, when you're in a relationship, it's better to be 50-50. Even though the man says, oh, I want you to be 25%, I'll take 75. A 50-50 relationship got a better chance of making it further than a person who's given more than the other opposite side, regardless if it's the male or the female. Because sometimes people get tired. That weight get tiring. So yes, you may come in the paint with all of these great things, and then one day you just fall short. And I don't mean because you just decide to start lacking. That just don't make sense. Like, you just happen to fall short. Your job fire you because they not making business profit or whatever the case may have been. You have to understand things like that happen, and are you willing to take that other half that your significant other can't do at the moment till they get back on their feet? Or is your expectation so high that you're just not going to compromise anything because your mindset is already set to this thing? Like, and men look at that. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of men look at women and think like, oh, she has too many high expectations and this, that, and the third, and they don't go further with that woman because it's not life thinking. Like, you have to think about what may happen and what can happen. And that's things you gotta take and look into.
I agree, but I agree when it comes down to a relationship. However, before the relation, it's the first date. Like, this is the first impression. You understand? The first impression is the best impression, you know? And I hear what you guys are saying. Every circumstance is different, you know? It all depends on the vibe, the energy that everybody is coming with. But I'm gonna stand where I stand. It all
I
depends.
respect
Like,
your
you know, not
boundaries.
saying like if he's going through hardship, I don't think he should be coming on a date with me. If he's going through, like, on a first date with me, go handle your business first. And when you do, then we could get together, because obviously you need to get yourself together. You're not right. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the person. Now, and that's the first date. It's too much to ask me or anybody. Like, and not to say because it's coming out wrong. It's too much to expect
No, that
somebody to
makes
hold
sense.
you
That
up
makes
in a
sense.
sense. It's coming out wrong. But I
No,
hear
no,
what you're
no. Say what you
saying.
say, though, Angie. I
I
think
hear what you're
you're saying
saying.
it well. You're saying
But
it well. You have
no, no, no,
boundaries,
no,
and
no.
everybody's different.
Because like if a person is like with the hardship stuff in a relationship, yes. But for the first date, no. Make sure you have what you got going on in order. Like, make sure you got yourself in order. Because I'm gonna make sure I got myself in order before I decide to sit down on a date with somebody. And that's very important before you start dating and courting people. You got to make sure you're together. When you don't, that's when things start falling. Like, things start to go south that
Yeah,
way.
but let me just say this. What I was speaking on is we were speaking on with expectations that your man started in a relationship. So that's what I was speaking on. Those expectations are not something you're gonna be looking for in the first date. So I wasn't speaking on that. I was just saying if you're in a relationship, like I think I'm saying your name right, Camille.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, it's Kenny. Same way.
Okay. But like she was saying, like if your guy falls short, are you gonna still be there because your expectations you already expecting him to just stay on his stuff and make sure he's always, financially stable to make sure you're okay. And there are gonna be times where that's not gonna be always possible, and that's what I was speaking
I have. That's something, well, in earlier talks that I have spoke on just a tad bit in other panels. I have, and that's when I'm in a relationship. I have been the one supporting the man when they fall short, when they don't got it. Hey babe, hey babe, can you send me 20? Here and there. But at the end of the day, I'm still a lady at the end of the day, and I expect to be courted, treated, and approached a certain way and cared for a certain way. And everybody's preference is different. But that don't mean like I'm
nothing
gonna
wrong with
expect that all
that.
the time.
Yeah,
If
but
they
a man
fall
has to
short,
see. A man has to believe that in order for you to be treated like a prize, though. I was saying that
I was
And
about
I
to
earlier.
was just
say,
gonna say,
You know what I
men
mean? Like you
have
can't just be
expectations and perspectives as well.
and
And if you're not giving off a good, look to him, how can it even go further?
right. And prize in what sense? Like prize, like you walk over him and you say whatever you want over him, or like prize,
no.
like
Like, I know
because
my worth. Like, in terms of I know my worth, not in like, oh, I'm this, that, and the
no,
third.
no.
No, like I
I
know
think
my
Angie was
worth.
saying she has certain boundaries. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes, yes,
respectable.
yes. That's what I
No,
mean.
and,
Not
and
like
Angie, from woman to woman, we have different things. Me, I pay for dates. I don't mind. If I'm interested and I
me
want to
too.
get to know you, I'll pay for the first date. And I've done
I've done it
that.
in the
And on the
past.
second date, the man has courted me to something more expensive. And, it'd be an eye opener. Like, damn, I didn't even know this man had it. But hey, to my surprise, second date, he paid for it. I mean, I just feel like the first date, I personally wouldn't do that because I feel like it gives a space and opportunity to kind of figure out who you are getting into it with. You're getting to know each other. So I wouldn't have that man run his pockets. That's just me, though, for the first date.
I wanted to touch base on what Fifth said earlier in regards to time and whatnot. So when it comes to like dating and marriage and all of that, I feel like men are very appreciative and respectful of a woman's time because a lot, like I'll say me for example. For example, in my situation, like me and my lady, we're getting married this December. We got engaged last December. I'm not going to waste time because I know that she's about 25, 26. I'm not going to wait a long enough time to where she can't really have kids healthy. So I'm being thoughtful of that. And so I didn't want a long engagement. But a lot of women don't care about a man's time because they want the finished product. They don't really care how that product's being made. So they want a man that's already established rather than like with my lady, like she was with me when I was at the bottom. And I'm not fully made into what I can be, but I'm cooking though.
Hey, how old are
She's
you?
gonna see I'm 28.
So let
And
me
when,
ask you
how old was you when she
this to
got
be
with you?
under.
I was 25, I think,
Okay,
about 3 years ago.
okay.
And it took for you to get to know her and like see things in her for you to want to feel the way you do, right?
Right.
And see, you weren't able to find that out on the first date, correct?
Well, I knew her prior to the first date, so I already knew, like, just off rip that she was worthy of being taken care of in the sense that I'm going to pay for the first date. So when the first date came, finally, I was like, yeah, it's not even a question. I'm going to pay for the first date.
Yeah.
But see,
And not
now
not
some of
just
the
that,
things
not
that we
just
always
that.
speak about.
Men croak out by 65, just about most men.
Can I add something? Can I add something real quick? An intentional man. Let me tell you a little about an intentional man, right? An intentional man knows that it's beyond the first date. This man is agreeing to take care of you for the rest of his life. An intentional man knows that, maybe not with the woman at the time, but a man who's moving intentionally understands that what his responsibility is going to be ahead of time. You see what I'm saying? And so it just goes beyond. And let me tell you something: men die trying, taking care of the woman that they love. Intentional men.
100% right. Yeah.
Yes, if she's worthy,
I was
yes.
gonna say that. I was gonna say when a
That's
man
valid.
sees something like I would say the prize, you don't have to tell them what to do. They're already gonna know what needs to be done, and they're gonna go out their way to do that to please that woman or to keep that woman because they don't want to see another man with that good woman. So you have to look at things like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, what the host said is definitely facts because it's just like, speaking from my experience, like I have a whole, like 3 to 5 year roadmap of exactly how I want my life to be at different like stages. So it's like, I use that when I am pursuing a woman to, like vet them and have a mental checklist of exactly what I am looking for. And, throughout my time, like spending with the woman, I'm just observing certain things that she does, that is like checking each box, that align with the things that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and to Fifth's point, like an intentional man, he's correct because when when I first started dating my fiance, I couldn't care less about, you know, becoming better because you know, I wasn't with anybody, so I didn't really care about, getting a better job, nothing like that. But when I finally got with her, I was like, listen, now I have something to fight for. Now I got a reason to kind of like, get off my butt because now there's a future involved that's, above me. That's more bigger than me and myself. So that's when I started to, work hard, So uh that's that's what that's what happened.
I do think though the way Angie thinks is actually a great mindset even at 20 something because when you put those strong borders, I don't know if you have kids, Angie, but if you don't just yet, amen, keep those strong boundaries and don't let none of those boundaries down for no man. Because you set those expectations, they're going to deliver like you said. A man proceeds with wants.
Yeah, I would agree. If women have standards and boundaries, don't just, abandon them because the guy is attractive. Because then if he screws you over, that's your fault. Like that guy is still a butthole and he's still
Yeah.
evil, but like that's on you. So you have to be consistent and not just let guys, no matter what they have, material wise or anything like that, you can't have them, just like tell you what you want to hear. Because women do fall in love with what they hear, and then when they fall for it, then they got you. So
And with society nowadays, you have to have those expectations with the younger generation because that's how men are leading right now. So it does make sense why she has such expectations and why she thinks that way, that she should stand 10 toes on it.
Black Diamond, you're so far away. Like we really want to hear what you're saying. Can you get closer to the phone?
One moment. Can you hear me
Yeah,
better
yeah,
now?
yeah. Because I
Okay, I
definitely want to
was
hear what you're
saying
saying.
her expectations are very good and high, and you know, with the society that we live in today,
I can still
we
barely hear
expect
her. Is
that.
my
That's
phone up?
Yeah, I think I hey Angie, I'm sorry, not Angie. Black Diamond, are you talking on like a Bluetooth?
no, I'm on a mic actually, but let me see something. One moment.
Yeah, because it's so distant. Yeah, I want to catch what Black Diamond is saying. She
Yeah.
hasn't been on the panel for a while, and I definitely want her voice today. So we want to make sure, because this show gets replayed on my YouTube channel, so we want to make sure that we're not missing any jewels here.
I do want to say this though, Fifth, if I may.
Go ahead, Beyonda.
I was gonna say a lot of how like society has changed so much. We respond to a lot of issues through feelings. You know what I mean? So people are going to use that to their advantage in dating as well. Because if I can acquiesce to your feelings, I can get you to do whatever I want you to do. So it is important to have standards and boundaries for both men and women too. Because if a woman can cater to a man's feelings, that woman can walk all over him and pretty much have him do whatever she wants him to do.
Beyonda, you said women fall in love with what they hear. You know what a man falls in love with?
What he
With what he
sees.
sees.
What he sees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the truth. But that it boils down to I had to stop falling in love or stop listening. Took me 21 years to actually pay attention to the actions of a man. The actions, it all boils down to the actions at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely can go
I
based on
agree.
what someone tell you.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. Is that better?
I think.
Okay, what I was saying was what Angie was saying. With the society nowadays, you have to have expectations as a woman like that because that's how men are leading. So if you're not with that same mindset, you can easily be played over, you can easily get tricked, or you can pay for the first date and then probably never speak to the man, and that's what some of us women are probably afraid of. So I understand how she feels, and I feel like she sounds like she has a good head and she's a good woman. So when she meet the right man, he'll bring her to the level that he's on if it's worth it for her. I hope y'all heard.
Yes.
Wonderful. I agree. I think you hit it right on the nail.
Yeah, and so let's do this, right? Because Angie is a young lady, right? Younger than Black Diamond and Mila, right? So my thing is, what kind of game can you give Angie because of the fact that there are things that like Angie's still growing and learning, right? She's still growing and learning, right? And so from a man's perspective, I've tried and will try my best to still keep that game going because the younger generation is going to be here longer than us, right? So what kind of game can you give Angie going forward? Because there are some things not to scare her, obviously not to scare her, but to just kind of like give her more insight in a positive way in terms of what to look for and what to avoid. What do y'all ladies think?
Well, I'm gonna say this, Angie. I am 40 years old. I have been married. I've been with a guy for 20 years. Every relationship that I have been in, we're long term. I'm not the woman that they come and go. So I must say that. So the best thing I can say is that you have to have. I'm gonna say this. You have to be fair, and the expectations that you have and the mindset that you have right now with the society that you're living in is good because, like I stated a couple seconds ago, if you meet the right guy, I think he'll put you on that level where you guys are both happy. You sound like you have a good head on your body, so I don't think it's much that we need to tell you. It's just like make sure you are open to advice and open to, as well as you have expectations, men have that as well. And as long as you pay attention to those two things, then you should be okay.
Be fair and open. Okay, one thing I will agree is that I'm open to a degree, but I do need to be more open and just a tiny teensy bit more fair. Tiny teensy bit. But I do need to be more open. I could say that.
Angie, what's the
It
age
sounds
range?
like
I date men in their late 20s, early 30s. Like the one that I was telling you guys about the last panel, we have the same birthday, and I'm 22 and he's 9 years older than me. So he's 31. He too old to be acting like that. I'm sorry.
Women always go for the older. I mean, younger women always go for the older
Fifth,
man.
didn't we
You
just
sure
have
do.
a age conversation the other day? Like
Yeah,
what the age was not supposed to come into play for real.
Yep,
She did
Tuesday's
it. Angie
episode.
did it.
Tuesday's episode, yeah.
well,
Angie did it.
let me ask you guys this. How do you feel about a big difference in age relationships?
It depends on how old the two people are. I think before 25.
This was Tuesday episode. We just talked about it.
Oh,
Yeah, but I missed it Tuesday. That's why I'm asking right now.
Yeah,
before
y'all
25.
could briefly speak about it. Go ahead.
I think before 25, I don't think that a woman should be dating an older man. And that's just based off my experience. Now, it all depends on the two age, how far it is. But me being in my early 20s or just starting my 20s, dating somebody that's starting their 30s it's not a good idea, you know? Because
Didn't you just say?
Yeah. Didn't you just say that?
listen,
Now, I
listen.
wanted to say, go ahead.
Like, it's not a great idea if you ask me, and that's just based off my experience. Now I do like them a little bit older than me, so what I am gonna do is scale back just a tiny bit on the age, right?
Okay,
Because
so let me just say this.
I went from 31, now I'm down to 28, and I'm
Okay, let me
22.
say
So
this. I wish I was on the live Tuesday because I have a big thing about the big
Yeah,
age difference. And
I
the
got the
reason why I
replay
say
on,
that
on the
because
YouTube channel, and Mona Lisa came up here and she told her story, and Mila told her story. Go ahead, Black Diamond. I'm sorry.
so let me tell you, I have been in a situation where I was maybe gonna say about 37 and the guy was 34, 32 maybe. I'm not really sure exact age, but it was a terrible relationship. One, the mentality wasn't there together. The mindset was definitely off. And before I got in the relationship, I knew better. But hey, you have to try things out. You gotta do the bucket list, right? So with that being said, I feel like you should date within your means because I don't understand what a 45-year-old man has to offer to someone that's 20 something years old. I feel like you guys are not on the same page. There's not really compatibility there, if you know what I mean. And the reason why I say that because older guys tend to play on younger women mindset. And then you always hear, and those women become traumatically mentally messed up in the head. And that's like your daddy basically dealing with a child like all over again. And I just don't think that makes sense. I mean, if you are a man and you have a daughter that's 25, would you want her dating someone that's 35? And that's something that I think people should think about because the mentality isn't the same. It's not on the same level.
I think 25 and 35 is fine. I don't see an issue with that.
And that's fine, but I just feel like 10-year difference, that's crazy. I mean, about when you hit 65, I'll still be 45 and you're a cripple and I'm basically taking care of you. Like I want somebody I can grow with, we can learn together, like we can experience, we can travel against the world. And if there's a big age difference, there's going to be a gap in a lot of things, and that's just how I see it.
Yeah, but then which you also have to keep in mind that like it's not like this is just a one sided thing where like the men are just targeting. I mean, pursuing the younger
Yeah,
women. Like
women
the
as well,
younger women want the
because
older men. Like
yeah, I mean, and I feel like that's weird as well. I mean, nobody's safe when it comes to that.
yeah,
I don't think a man should be with a woman that's not in the age range, and vice versa. I just feel like the compatibility there is a bit off, and that's just my opinion.
yeah, no, I got it. I definitely understand that. That's the reason why the minimum age for me is 4 years younger than me. So that's like the minimum. Like I'm 27, I would go for someone who's 23 and up. 23 to 25. Yeah, 23 to 25. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say this: I feel like men go with women younger because they feel like they can't get with a woman that's their age range. They go with somebody they can manipulate or somebody that they can
Oh
manipulate.
Lord.
Because a real woman,
Oh no.
I'm gonna just say this: a real man, he's gonna want a real woman his age, not a little girl that he can play with. And
That's
that's
Can
just
not
my
I
opinion.
that's not always true.
can I say something?
Not
Um,
mature, just like some men are younger and they are more mature than the older men. It depends on the individual person. It's not like it's just, oh, the older man gonna do the right thing. Not always. They be immature too.
Remember when the host was talking about, men value looks? Like, not to say when you get older, like, you get worse, but it's like, if you are, I don't know, 35, 40, and you got a lot going on for yourself, you done worked hard and you got, XYZ right, chances are you're more than likely gonna want a more younger woman. Just saying, like it's just like I'm just gonna throw the out. I'm just gonna say
But let me just throw
what
this
needs to
out
be
there:
said.
you think a woman that has her stuff together, she's literally wealthy, pretty much good. You think she's gonna want a little boy to play with so she can start all over again raising a man? I think not.
Well,
I mean,
Black
that's just
Diamond,
me.
can
I
you
don't.
well Black Diamond, stay right there. Can you articulate a woman having her stuff together? What does that all entail?
But when I say her stuff together, meaning she's pretty much, she can be 50-50 when it comes to being with a man. She has a good job. She can pay her own bills. She has a car. She has her things together. Like, she wants a man. She don't need a man. So with that being said, like me, for instance, I stated I'm 40. And I'm not going to find someone in their 35 or 36 to try to make a marriage with, because I feel like he still have time to grow to get where I'm at. And I don't want to be in the middle of him doing that. I'm already where I need to be. So why go to be with someone that's trying to get where I'm at? I'm already there. I have my stuff together. So I want to be with somebody that's in my league so that way we can enjoy each other versus me trying to pick you up to get where I'm at or you
Are
trying to
you
pick me up and vice versa.
are you saying this?
Tyler, before
Yeah,
you go, because I don't want to miss this.
bet.
Black Diamond, can you mention anything that's intangible?
Wait, say that again.
So you mentioned tangible things. Tangible are things that could be removed. Can you name anything intangible in the context of a woman having her stuff together?
Well, I'm gonna say she's mentally ready for a man. That's her mindset is ready for a man. Is that better for you?
Well, the reason why I'm saying it is because if we're measuring intangibles, there are men who have intangibles that we should measure to be fair as well. That could be in line
No,
with the
and I'm
woman that
not
you're talking
saying
about.
men I don't have, but what I'm saying is, okay, I'm 40, and this guy is 35 years old. I feel like he has 5 years of things he can actually learn to get where I'm at. We're talking about a woman that's mentally together, financially stable. She's just on her stuff. She's ready to explore the world. She's ready to enjoy life. How can she do that when she's too busy trying to pick a man up and bring him to the level she's on? Now she's backtracking. She's doing the same thing she did already again.
She
Does
would
that make
be
sense?
she would be backtracking if that's the man that she chose, but it's not just because they have a 5 year age gap. There are men who have a 5 year age gap who are above
Yeah,
intangibly than the women that they have pursued.
exactly.
We can't just assume
You're
because
right. You're
she's
right
40 and
about
he's
that.
35.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Black Diamond.
You're right about that. But let me just say this. If we were on a scale of 100% of men, you're probably going to find 5% that are right there. And I'm just being fair.
What would we find? Well, since you're being fair, I'll rock with you, Black Diamond. We're just having a conversation. So since
Oh,
we're
I know.
since we're being fair, how do we measure that for the woman? What's the percentage for excuse me. What's the percentage for the woman?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a lot of women out here that makes it hard for women out here like me. Because they making it easy for a lot of men. And like Angie said, when you have your expectations to a certain level, you're not going to lower them to get on a certain level, if that makes sense to you.
So this is something I just wanted to add because so just so I am following along, when you was giving your example, you was talking about like, oh, you got, you are mentally there, you are financially there, like you got XYZ, but you are with a guy who is 5 years younger than you and he doesn't have what you have. Is that what you were saying?
That was about 5 years ago, yes. And basically, what I found out in that relationship, I was babysitting a little boy. And I have a 21-year-old. And I believe men mentality, if you talk to a lot of different women that are not coming from men, it's just men are more immature than women. Even at a certain age, they still immature.
No.
So, say that again.
I know how true that is. Like it's just like
Okay,
like
so
a person,
if
a
I
person
already
being
have that,
a person being immature isn't specific to just one gender alliance.
no, it's not. It goes for both ways. But I am a woman speaking about a man. You asked me about a man. I don't have a woman. So what I'm saying is, what I found out in that relationship was I had to do what I'm doing with my 20-year-old. 21-year-old is basically raising him, bringing him to the level that I'm on, which is taking time from where I need to be, where I can be going. If I would have been with a man that was on the same level as me mentally. And I feel like if I'm dealing with someone 35 and I'm 40, I can only expect that I'm getting what I'm looking for. He's 35. What was I expecting?
Yeah, but then it's like like that is just one individual person though. Like like that's not every single 35-year-old. Like hell, hey, you got people who are 25 and has done way more and is magnitudes more successful than people who are 35, 40 years old. So it's like and you can't just generalize just all people who are younger and say, oh, if the person is younger than me by a significant amount of years, then they just not gonna be where I'm at. Like, no, like there are people who are 25 years old who has done way more than and with no
And
disrespect,
you're
but
right. You
that's
can find some younger guys that are maybe on a level that I am today, but mentally, I don't feel like they're on that level. Remember, we're speaking on numerous of factors, not just financially being okay, not just being wealthy. You got to understand, we got to be compatible. We got to be able to relate. We got to be able to be on the same level. And that's what I realized he didn't have that I had. I'm speaking on my relationship.
no,
I
I
can't
definitely
speak for
do.
everybody else.
I definitely do
So
get that,
that's what
but
I mean.
my thing is this, right? Because and if I'm call me out if I am misinterpreting what you're saying, but it sounds like you are saying that, a person, maturity is based on a person's age. That's what it
No,
is sounding like to
that's not what
me.
I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying, I'm basically saying that if you are dealing with someone that is in that age range, you can expect the maturity level to not be on your level. Not saying that they won't be on the level. You can expect that. And that's
Have you been
why
on
I
TikTok?
expected it. Say that again.
Have you been on TikTok? Have you
She
been on?
definitely been on
Okay.
TikTok. She goes live a lot.
I've been on TikTok and I've been around a lot of people. I've conversate with a lot of people. I've worked a lot of jobs. I actually sell health and life insurance. So I speak to a lot of older people today and I speak to a lot of younger people. So it's based off the maturity when it comes to the age. I just feel like a man who's 45 and he's happy where he's at in life, I just feel like he's not gonna find something compatible in a 25-year-old woman. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of relationships that I've seen and witnessed, they don't last. They don't make it that far
Well,
because
let me
men think they can play on you.
kind of put this in. The only reason why, and then we're gonna have to get back to the general topic, but the only reason why I had to address what you said is because I'm always cautious, and I say this respectfully, Black Diamond, of course, because I would be questioned if I said this. When we have a statement and we say a real man should, would, or a real woman would, should, I expect to be challenged, right? So here's what I want to say about the age thing, right? I don't think if a man wants a woman who's 10 years younger than him, that we're going to use that as a qualifier whether he's real or not. Because there are women, and Angie is one of them, respectfully. She was dating a guy who was 10 years older than her at one point. So she wouldn't say that that man's not a real man.
I wouldn't say real. I probably shouldn't have stated it like that, but I'm pretty sure Angie found out that nothing was in interest when it came to that man. Is she still with him?
No.
Okay, so that's when I say the compatibility. It's when you're
But
in the relationship.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I don't think she's not with him because she's not with him no more because she feels that he's not a real man because he was wanting to date her because she was 10 years younger, because obviously I would say at some point that there was a benefit in that relationship at some point. But what I'm saying is that and no, I get what you're saying, Black Diamond, as far as you probably would have worded that better. But I would just say it comes down to a maturity thing. And you're right. It does come down to what's compatible, because there are a lot of people who are the same age who are not compatible. So we can make that argument just as much, you know. And
Definitely.
So real Joy said that, gender is not, sorry, maturity is not really gender specific, and she's right about that too, because there's a lot of older girls out here, and not older women, if you know what I'm saying.
That are very not immature. Correct.
Yeah. And I'll be candid. I'm someone who, for the most of my life, I've been with women who are older than me. Not 10 years older, but you know, small gaps. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm attracted
But
to
you see the
maturity.
key word you said, small gaps. Are you
Yeah.
okay with dealing with a woman that's 10 years older than you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 38. So
Yeah,
I think at 38 is different if I was 21. So at 38,
No.
I
I'm
don't see
saying
it.
at
Yeah,
38,
go ahead.
would you date a
hmm
woman that's 48 or 52,
I would date a woman who's 48. Yes, ma'am.
but
But
not
can I tell you
52, right?
why? Can I tell you why?
Yes.
So I don't think there's that much of a difference once you get around this age. I don't think there's, and I'm talking about things that are intangible, not tangible, not salary. Obviously, your salary changes, but in terms of what a woman wants in life, I'm coming across women who I haven't, who are at the age where they've pretty much plateaued, and what's decided's been decided a long time ago. So there's no difference between a woman who's 48 and 42, except for the number, the year she was born, and stuff like that. But in terms of what she wants and what she desires, that hasn't really changed from what I'm
No,
encountering
but
women in their 40s. Go ahead.
no, so say you get a woman that's 52 and you said 38.
Hmm.
At that time in life, she's probably a homebody, cook, crossword puzzle, that type of stuff. But you're 38, you still want to go out and have fun and enjoy life. How is that going to work?
Um, I don't really have a challenge there. And so it's subjective, right? So from man to man, it's different. I don't mind that. I've dated my, I've dated women who are homebodies and who were in their 30s, late 20s. So a homebody, I get what you're saying, but a homebody is also not age specific. I think homebody is more about extrovert versus introvert, and that's at any age. But anything that I
A
want to do, I'm
homebody,
gonna want to include my anything that I want to do. I'm gonna want to include my woman anyway.
right? But if you guys, oh honey, I just want to stay home today, tomorrow, and you want to go out. So
Hmm.
I'm not saying that it's mainly the homebody that I'm concerned. It's just let me see, how you guys relate and what things that you want to do together. Like you want to go out and she just want to stay home. After a while, do you think that's going to become a problem?
Well, so speaking for me, then I'll speak general. So I could me, I mean, look. At the end of the day, who you are, how you treat me, and let's just say I want to have like a fellas night out. If she's cool with that, then we've worked it out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's a problem there. Now, if her attitude is because I'm not going nowhere, you shouldn't, that's different. But then I could say this, right? Because you mentioned 52. Just sticking with 52. There are extroverted, notice how I'm using the word extrovert, introvert. There are women who are extroverts at 52. They want to go out too with their man, right? So I think it's like I said. I really don't think it's so much the age, and I understand the examples, Black Diamond. I do, but I think when you get well, me and you are a year apart because I'm going to be 39 in April. So me and you are a year apart, Black Diamond. When you're at
Two
this
actually.
age, huh? Two.
Yeah, I'll be 40 soon. I mean 41 soon.
Okay, okay, all right. So 2 years, right? There's not much of a difference between me and you as far as age difference, right? So we wouldn't
No,
count
but
that
I
as a
wasn't
gap, right?
speaking.
No. I'm getting to my point. 2 years
Okay.
is not an age gap, right? Right. So, but what you're mentioning is right, 52, right? So that's we're talking like 12 years older than me, right? 12, 11.
Right, right.
So at this point, it's all going to come down to what type of woman she is, not so much the age of woman she is, right? So if I'm already, it's already been established that she's 52, then the things that I'm going to want is if I want a woman who's an introvert, I'm going to go for a woman who's an introvert, and she could be 40, 45, 52. If I want a woman who's an extrovert, she could be 40, 40, 45, 52. So the point would be not so much the age. Once that's established, it's the type. Because if we put 10, 52-year-olds in one room, I'm pretty sure I'm going to find my type out of that 52. Do you agree?
I agree.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna disagree or agree because I just don't really care for the big difference in the age of a relationship, and I'm just gonna stick to that. And it may be something that personally or traumatically happened to me to where I just don't agree to it. I just
Right.
feel like you should have someone around your age range. I don't want a man that's a daddy father figure and I'm 20 something years old to be in my life. And vice versa. I don't want to be with a 60-year-old man and I'm 40 something. So I'm never going to find that something I care to do. And it
But
may be something that I just have with myself.
if you if you see, it's okay to have a difference of opinion, but it's like if you're gonna have that like stance, you have to be able to articulate it. And I've been sitting here, I've been listening to you and the host talk, and everything you said, you have worded it in a way that has made it seem as if it is specific to that person's age, when that's just simply not the case. Like, just like the host said, right? And you got older women who are girls, and you have, on the opposite end, you have, younger women who, are way more mature than older women, like so much so that hey, you have a conversation with them and you like, wow, like I
You can
like you just
actually
be
relate. And I totally
flabbergasted pretty
get that.
much. So it's like, yeah.
No, and I totally get that. That's why I said maybe that's something personal that I have with the big age difference. I just don't care for it.
Yeah.
I can
No, well,
Because you can, like you
I can
said,
respect
you can
that.
find
I can.
somebody that is on the same level you can actually relate to.
yeah,
I'm not gonna second that.
yeah.
But I just personally have a problem with the big age difference thing. And I think that's basically what it boils down to.
Would it be safe to just say that that's just your preference and there's nothing objectively wrong with a age gap? Well, a large age gap.
Well, I would say that it's safe to say that, and because of what I've been through, I don't really care for it. So if somebody chooses to do it, that's fine with me. I'm not going to second it. I'm not going to have a bad opinion.
Yeah.
It's just something that I don't care
Yeah.
to partake in.
And it's just like, like when I say that there is nothing wrong with a large age gap, obviously, like I'm not for a 40-year-old man dating someone who's 19 fresh out of high school. Like, nah, like there definitely has to be a minimum to it. But yeah.
So, I know y'all talking about the age gap thing. My husband
Yeah.
is 7 years
After
older
the,
than me.
after this, we got to get back on topic. Okay, go ahead, Mila.
Okay, my husband is 7 years older than me. When we had this topic the other day, I didn't say a specific age because that's neither here nor there. I think dating somebody within a 5 to 10 year age range is okay. But if you're 25 and someone else is 35 or 40, that's perfectly fine too. But it also depends on how they think and the maturity level. Because you got some men that's 40, 45 and still got the mind of a kid. So you have that's a thing that you have to be mindful of when dating older. Even if you dating someone your age, they still 9 times out of 10 not mature, and that's for men and women. But I just wanted to jump in and say that.
All right. So good dialogue. So I'm gonna have to end the stream a little earlier. Hey, does anybody have like final thoughts? And I'm gonna let them speak one by one, and then I'm gonna close out the live. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. As far as the prompt goes, I feel like depending on who asks for the date, should be mindful if he or she is paying. Don't always just put it off on a 50-50 split. If if you ask first. If a woman asks first, the woman pay first. If a man asks first, the man pay first. And that's just how I am.
Anybody else want to go next?
Yes. Yeah. I guess I can go since the other ladies is muted right now. But yeah. So I definitely don't believe that a woman should pay anything on the first date. You know, it is fair for her to have that expectation. Um, so long as you know she is operating in the way that she's supposed to be operating to justify having that expectation. That's a very important caveat to add. Um, so yeah, and if she is operating in that way, then the man will be more than happy to pay. Like it won't even be something he has to think about because it's not something that um we think about. Um but yeah, that's really all I got. I definitely did enjoy the conversation. It's always a breath of fresh air to be on a panel where people are not over talking and yelling and making low IQ talking points and just, keeping everything.
Yeah, brother. That's how I like to conduct things over here, man. You were good. You were respectful. Come back next time, all right? I go live again Tuesday, all right?
Sure. Yes.
As you can see in the banner, I go live 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central, Tuesdays and Thursdays, all right?
Yep. Sounds good.
Definitely
I've
come
already
back.
followed you. Take care, everyone.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Phil, for having me and enjoy the rest of your day.
I still stand on what I said when it comes to it. I feel like whoever asks should pay for that date. And initially, if a man is the one asking, yeah, he should be paying for that date if he's genuinely interested in a woman. If a woman asks him, then yeah, she can pay for that date. I don't have an issue with paying for a date if I'm asking him. But if he's genuinely asking me out on a date, yeah, I'm expecting him to pay for that date unless he tells me otherwise in the beginning. Like, babe, we're gonna go half and half. I feel like, we vibe a little bit. Can we go out, take some time and get to know each other better? Then that's different. But he should initiate that in the beginning, not tell me at the date or at the end of the date, like, yeah, we're gonna split this check. Unless the vibe wasn't there and everything went bad, then I'd be like, yeah, let me just pay my half and I'm up. So other than that, yeah, if we vibing, I think he should pay for that date if he asks me out.
I can rock with that. Black Diamond, any final thoughts?
Let's agree with everybody was saying. Normally the man is the one that asks for the first date, so that's why they end up paying it. But, it can go both ways.
Okay. My final thoughts when it comes to this. So I don't think it's a problem. Obviously, tradition. This is a tradition that I have no problem with keeping. You know what I'm saying? Men paying for the first dates. We are the ones who are the pursuers anyway, so we do understand that. It's fine as long as we're asking the right women and we're not, just frivolously just wasting our time. Because men, we do have time that is very important. We have time as well. You respect, you respect your own time. You respect a woman's time, and you date a woman who respects your time. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you would be somebody else in front of that person. So you definitely want to value that because we are adults. You definitely want to value each other's time. Um, I mentioned earlier about some men do too much too soon. Hey, that's on the accountability of the man because what happens is when you set a certain tone, then that's going to be expected throughout the duration of the dating relationship. So fellas also be mindful of that. And as far as women asking men out on dates, look, I'm not encouraging it per se, but I'm also not against it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I've seen situations where women have shot at a man and they're now married. But we don't want to forget how important vetting is. Vetting safely matters in this case, first date and also throughout the process. So you also want to be mindful of that on the man and the woman's side, and know that use a date as a means to get to know someone. Don't just use a date as a means to how good the food is. I think there's a problem when the only thing you could take from your date is that the food was good, but you can't remember a word y'all said to each other. I think that's a red flag, right? So be mindful of that. You know.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
absolutely. Thank you. So real. You can come back anytime.
Have a
You were
morning.
kind and respectful. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You know. Mila, my moderator. Oh, I want to say real quick. A new show is premiering on my YouTube channel in April. I will give more updates next week. All right. A live panel show, closed panel, differently from this, with decided guests pre-planned. It's going to be on my YouTube page Monday nights, starting April, and starting April 13th. Sorry, I had to go out the live for a second. Starting April 13th, Monday nights on my YouTube channel, Fifth General TV, and Mila's going to be the guest on the first episode. So it's Beyonda, Angie, lovely Lena, who's been on my panel, who's been on my TikTok a couple times, and so three men, three women. I'm one of the men, so we making it fair. It's going to be a gender neutral relationship topic, and this is going to be good. It's starting Monday nights. All right. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. God bless everyone. Y'all have a good weekend. All right. Take care.
Okay.